of like tips? Is there any advice for playing against Full Send?
He gave us some like intel on how they played and how they manage, especially with their coach. But I think what he brings to the team is just mental.
Yeah.
He like leads us a lot, even when Harvey can't.
Yeah.
Yo, guys.
Really good.
What's up?
We can hear you guys. You guys are quite loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys really feed off that energy.
Yeah.
Is that something for how often if they're screaming? Is it you? Who's
We are
the
live,
loudest
I think.
It's Harvey, then Nakia. Then it will be
one?
me.
Oh, Nakia, and then
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, we are live.
Okay. What type of round is usually if you pop off for something, then it's when you get loud?
Yeah, it's like when we pop off our clutch.
Yeah.
That's when we get really loud.
And you guys really like using that energy to try and keep yourself going, because I can hear you guys cheering, whatever. And then I can see when the energy goes a little bit down, then sometimes I can see the rounds maybe don't look as convincing.
Yeah.
Just from an outside POV, it sounds like when you guys are loud and having fun, you guys are playing the best as well.
Yeah.
It feels like that in the game as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same.
Can you guys hear each other, the two teams? You guys are kind of shouting across the stage. Can you hear if they shout something?
I don't hear if they shout something.
Yeah.
I can't hear.
Okay.
We're just shouting for fun.
Yeah, just shouting
Yeah,
for fun.
what I think, sick of it.
Okay. I do want to ask you also a couple of questions about yourself as a duelist player. I'm curious, how is the transition? There's three things I want to ask you about, and it's you as a Waylay, as a Neon, and as an Omen, right?
Yeah.
So with the Neon, you've been playing the Neon the most, right?
Yeah.
So much Neon, so we keep it to this game. How's the transition when you go play the Neon? You're super aggressive, a lot of like first engagements, and then you go play the Omen. How's that transition for you?
For me, it's pretty seamless because I'm used to it now. Since I've been playing like the smoker role for almost a year now, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't mind playing passive.
Okay.
Baiting is nice.
Yeah.
Especially after I keep entering and dying. Yeah.
So that is also something which I noticed on the Waylay as well. And when you play the Neon, you do
Baiting
have a
is
lot of
nice.
first engagements. You do go in first a lot. Is that something that is your style?
Actually is.
As a player, you want to be taking those, or is that something that is for the team? Because for us, Moniet is sometimes that guy that just needs to go, right?
Yeah.
And open space. Doesn't matter if you die first, but if we can trade and win out the round, it doesn't matter.
For me, it's mostly for my team.
Yeah.
It feels odd for me to keep running in first like that.
Yeah.
But I just do it for my team because it works.
Yeah, that's quite hard on a duelist player sometimes, or as an entry, because you don't necessarily get that first kill for yourself, but you need to trust is what's best for the team.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you guys do play the double duelist on quite a couple of the maps. How is that feeling if you're swapping from Neon to Waylay? Because sometimes the Waylay, you kind of need to be like a little bit of a scout. And then also for you, analyzing your games is you often get more of your kills on defense with Waylay than in the last two times you played, on defense than attack. How's the Waylay different to the Neon for you?
Honestly, it's like you said. When I play the Waylay, I'm just acting like a drone.
Yeah.
Just info for my teammates to play. Most of the time, I dash in, try to slow and TP out. Or just dash in and TP out for the info.
I see.
Yeah. I'm not thinking about kills on attack side.
I think that is something that is people quite undervalue in terms of a duelist and not being afraid to die or not afraid like being that scout at times when you're playing a double duelist meta. And I'm curious from Javi's calling, is there often, okay, you just go in here, go in here, go in here, or are you more the type to say, I need util here, I need util here?
He's definitely more of the just, you go here, you go here.
Yeah?
But I think he's pretty good most of the time, so I don't mind doing it, that's why.
Okay, well, it's been working.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to change,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I also want to ask about tomorrow you guys are playing again, right?
Yeah.
Playing against Velocity. They've been in pretty good form as well. How is that? You said that there's maybe some holding some stuff, maybe also you guys do want to be at the top of your group, but any thoughts going into Velocity?
Honestly, not much thoughts. Just that I keep seeing they play Neon and Breach.
Yeah.
So in my head, that's an easy win.
Yeah?
It's an easy win.
Easy win?
Yeah.
Okay. I also want to ask you, it's a little bit outside of just you as a
Nice
in-game, but you're also the only
confidence.
Malaysian player at Ascension.
Yes.
Right? I want to ask you a little bit more in terms of Malaysian Valorant. What does the Malaysian Valorant scene look like?
Only one player that comes to mind about like Rising Star.
Yeah.
And it's Aplix.
Aplix?
Yeah, from Todok.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he's decent.
Do you feel a little bit of extra weight being the only Malaysian here? There's only Davai also in Tier 1.
Yeah.
Is that some extra weight? Or is it, do you really want to make the Malaysians proud as well? Do you feel any pressure with that?
I think I do. I feel a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
But it's not that much. It's not on my mind constantly.
Yeah. Because I think it's quite a unique situation to be. Because a lot of the other players here, they're one of many of other players that's coming through the ranks. But for yourself, it's more rare to see Malaysian talent coming through.
Yeah.
So I think it's really exciting also to see. I'm sure the Malaysian fans are really proud to have you guys do well, and that's super exciting. Is there anything else that you guys are looking forward to in going forward after play or towards playoffs?
I think a rematch would be motive.
Yeah.
I want to beat them.
Yeah, you guys are keen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 3-1 last time you guys played, right?
Yeah.
For motive. Okay. Do you guys feel different to Vietnam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What would you say is main differences from Vietnam finals to here?
Mentally, we were dead in Vietnam.
Yeah.
It's like you see now we're having so much fun and stuff, right? It was quite the opposite.
I see.
In Vietnam, like we were super dead.
Yeah. How come? The game felt harder, or you guys feel more tired, or?
I think we were just very tired at that time.
Yeah.
And I individually just felt very off.
Yeah.
Also.
Okay. And now you guys are feeling a little bit more refreshed.
Yeah.
And of course, it's not easy, but it helps a lot if you're playing really well.
Yeah.
You have that good energy and everything.
Yeah.
And now for you guys just keep making sure that you stay on the grind and like perfect what's been working, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having a chat with me, man.
Thank you.
Good luck in playoffs. We'll definitely see a lot more of you guys, and I hope to see that motive rematch as well.
Guys, tell me आज कौन जीतेगा? क्या लगता है?
Welcome back to VCT Ascension
Both are
Pacific.
informed, by
Now
the way.
we are
Both
on to
team are
match
informed.
number 2. Of course, with us, Bella and Morgan in the task. Well, match number 2, the stakes. I mean, it's for
Never
the
know.
upper bracket seat.
Yeah, I mean, now a win today secures them that spot in the upper bracket. We do know that Velocity are through to the playoffs after that Nongshim win earlier on today, but this is a clash at the top of the group. Both of these teams have looked incredibly strong so far in this group stage, and they're looking for absolute dominance. They're not going to be okay putting up numbers in that loss column. They want to continue to move from strength to strength here, and we have to focus on NAOS yet to drop a map here in this Ascension. Probably the most dominant team we've seen so far in this tournament. And I mean, this is one to get excited about, Bella.
Yep, of course. Like now, like what we've listened from the interview before from San and Ewok, is that they've been,
ETC
you know,
is good.
they've been not
always
that
good.
good in Vietnam, but coming into Ascension,
Yeah.
looks like their form are very solid.
Yeah, I love that. I love
Sam is
that they
good
were
also,
saying
I
in
think.
Vietnam, the problem was it was vibes. They were feeling dead, but they're having so much fun in this tournament, and that's why they're so successful. We also saw him say that this Breach Neon style of Velocity is going to be easy to beat, and I'm sure Velocity are going to have a lot to say about that. It's worked for them so far in this tournament, so I'm very excited to see it once again.
Yep, of course, Velocity with the Mara and that Neon. Man, he's been electric yesterday, supported by Russ as well as Madeline. This trio creating chaos. I feel like Velocity, they've been very
लगता है भाई?
comfortable bringing
कौन जीतेगा आज?
this type
बताओ
of
बताओ
gameplay.
बताओ जो भी देख रहा है please.
Yeah, absolutely. They've found a style that works for them, and they really are sending
क्या
it.
कहती
We
है
do
vibe?
have the map veto coming in here, and I'm very curious. I want to see Velocity lean into these Breach Neon maps for them, and they do select Lotus. I mean, we've seen this from them
Lotus तो pick है ही अपना.
already this tournament, looking very strong, beating Full Sense. But on the other side, Naus also beat Full Sense on this map, so a real big clash there.
Heaven is
This
decider.
is
Okay.
fun though, seeing the map veto. because,
Lotus Ascent
Velocity,
in heaven.
their perma ban has always
Pretty
been
good,
Abyss
pretty
as
good.
well as NAOS. So because Velocity, they ban Abyss first.
Pretty good.
NAOS, they have that extra ban, and they
हमारा
ban
Lotus
Sunset
अच्छा है.
because knowing
Heaven भी अच्छा ही है.
Yeah.
the way the Mara
Ascent-
has been electric on this map.
Yeah, I mean, very much so. I don't blame them for getting rid of that map. When we
Not
see the rest of this veto, it's
that
going to
good,
be Ascent
but
and then Haven. This
good.
is probably the most
Not
straight up,
bad.
most simple veto you can get within this pool. And both of these teams have shown all three of these maps at Ascension. So ultimate time for prep, ultimate time to be able to read your opponents. And I love that this is how the veto has gone for this series, because I think the key matchup in this game is the two IGLs here. We have Xavi 8K on one side, been calling, fragging fantastic. Then on the other side, we have Russ, the breach expert himself, also making fantastic calls and setting up his duelist players with fantastic util. And I mean, I love that they're just playing. They both go, okay, you can read us, I can read you in the preparation, but both teams feeling very confident that they can get the win. So I can't wait to see how these two teams react to each other around the map, because I think these two IGLs probably some of the top players in this entire tournament.
Absolutely. This is very interesting because how V has made his mark, as we can say, in VCT Ascension Pacific. He's coming into Ewoks Raider, even in the scouting report. But like what
Yeah,
you
number
said,
one.
yeah, number one. Like what you said earlier, Russ. He's that type of IGL that can.
रस ने
you
अभी
know,
तक तो
make
बहुत तगड़ी
that
एजलिंग करी बाय द वे
combo work
बहुत ही
with
ज़्यादा
that
तगड़ी
three
Yeah.
players bringing in experience and
Like,
that
no
two
doubt
players
about it.
bringing in
Velocity
firepower. So this is
Gaming.
going to be interesting, of course, especially talking about Velocity Gaming. They have been relentless this far.
Yeah, I mean, they're really leaning into their own strengths, and it's just working so smoothly for them. Just going back to Russ, this is a player that I know very well, worked with him for a whole year, and from my own personal experience, he has some of the best util and the best comms I've ever seen in my
Now
entire time in
esports.
Valorant. That's what makes him special as a player, and you can see how it bleeds out to the rest of the team and how it informs this incredibly aggressive style. But on the flip side, it's NAOS. They play very structured, strong macro games across the board. Look out for their powerful double duelist as well, especially in this opening match of Lotus. So I think this is a real clash of titans over in Group Omega.
And I feel like the five players of now
Let us
they
give it to
are
her.
very good in making plays, right? Like each of the member, they have the potential to turn things around in each round. Going into map over map over map. So this is going to be intimidating, of course, for Velocity because
Yeah.
if Velocity they were able to play that combo breach neon combo, take that first lanes, but it can be turned by analysis by the way they can make plays in the game.
Yeah, I mean, now
I'm getting
insanely
vibe
cracked
कि
individuals. Everybody
हम
across the
जीतने वाले
board
भाई.
has had pop-off games here
A
for
little
them,
bit
so
vibe.
it's very scary, especially trying like attack into. There's no
Who
weak
knows?
side
Who knows?
here
वैसे
because
मेरी prediction बहुत
everybody
खराब
can
होती हैं.
shoot
Like
so sharp. I mean, I think the big thing for this matchup is we just
Don't
saw
wanna
Zach
curse
say
or
how
jinx
confident
anything.
they were that they would be able to dismantle Velocity. He said it was going to be easy because they know how to read this style, and I think it's all going to come to a head here in this first match. I think if Velocity start to get some rounds and they start to shake Naus's belief that they have the counter ready, things could really snowball out of control. And on the flip side, if Delmara gets shut down hard, Naus will be feeling more confident than ever that they are reading this correctly. So I think this first match is going to be the most crucial as we move forward in this series.
Yep, of course. We're going into Lotus. We've seen Velocity's Lotus before with that Breach Neon Fate combo and that chamber from Rossi. It was
क्या लगता
it
था
was
comp same होगा?
amazing to see that they could beat Motive,
Chamber, Neon,
right? One of the
Breach,
Southeast Asia
Omen.
giants coming into Ascension, where
And
now, on the other hand,
Vice
they were
on
actually
Lotus maybe?
struggling when they were going against
That would
Motive
be our
on,
comp.
on Southeast Asia Challenger. So it's a statement
Yeah.
made from Velocity, but on the other hand, they have the time
I'm getting the
already
vibe
to
comps the same
prepare
here,
things,
probably.
right? And now they
Yeah.
have the time already as well to see how Velocity played against Motive on the other day.
Yeah, that's the big thing, especially for the coaching staff of both of these rosters. I can tell you from personal experience, you love it when you get a veto like this, when you've seen what your opponent is bringing on every map, and it's
Chamber, Omen,
staying
Breach, Neon,
exactly
Fade.
as we would expect.
Okay.
The coach is going to be happy with this one, because
Nice.
VLT sticking with that signature style, Russ on that breach, setting up Demara on the Neon, and letting SK Russi shoot like crazy on that chamber. This is what they're known for.
Yep. Meanwhile, for now,
Double duelist.
no changes for
Nice.
them as well. With Sun with that Neon, of course, and Moyer with that Yoru. We've seen Moyer making plays yesterday for now. Like the way
दोनों ही
he
comps
used
अच्छे हैं
that
actually देखा जाए
operator,
तो
or the way he
Yoru is
used
also
that,
good on Lotus
Outlaw is very very
Breach
very
but
hard
however double
to read,
initiator so
especially
that's a good
if
thing.
Velocity cannot do a great job
they
of
have
doing
double
that.
duelist
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for them to deal with. I want to see Velocity have smart U2 usage. They need to be forcing him.
I think Vice and
they
Chamber-
have a breach and a fade, so lots of ways to do that. So you
I
can't
know SK Rossi
afford
with
to
Chamber
make
is good,
mistakes
but
with your util there.
still
Yeah, let's see
Chamber
whether
is
NAOS can continue
not
their domination in Group Omega, or Is it gonna be Velocity to once again surprise
let's
us
see
and stop
how it
NAOS
goes.
on their feet? Of course, bringing you the action, Konki and Komodo, please take it away.
Nakamoto, for me, a long year of Southeast Asia means I am very familiar with NAOS, whereas Velocity, for me, it's been a little while between drinks since I've seen Lightning Fast, SK Rossi get into the server. So, you know, with Coach Godspeed in front, in tow, I'm very excited to see what this team can do, especially with the explosive performance they've already had so far at Ascension.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about what they're doing in this area of gameplay as well, right? They've got their own little identity that they're coming through with this breach and the chamber, of course. So we're putting a lot of reliance on that. And we're also making sure that you're hitting your shots. Because when you're not like that, you got to get out of dodge. And of course, just while we are in this list as well, you're not going to see them change things, right? If teams are finding an anti, they've got into playoffs, they want the better seed. They don't need to change anything, but they want to just drill in what they've got here to be very, very comfortable.
This is still going to be a very important battle as the storylines continue to rattle each other.
Nice,
Already
nice.
straight down mid, Damara.
Man up.
It was spoken about by Morgan and Bella, I believe, how good he was on the Neon.
Okay, we can play post plant, I
Now
think.
we start to make our way through. So site will be secured by NAOS. A little bit of a late rotation in from Zan.
Oh, plant goes down. See what
Neon.
they're going to be able to do in this deficit. Zan's
Neon
talked a
BP
big
away.
game in that interview, right? We'll see.
He really did. Now Moja straight on towards
Nice,
the line. So
Damara.
Damara already finding
Let's
that opening.
go.
Second in the round for him. Nakia looking to take the position
Let's
back. But
go, man.
Got to catch him. Russ
Let's go.
picking up that additional frag. So Zan, you know, the
Pistol
guy that
round
we've had our
win
eye
is
on
like
so much throughout this
great,
competition.
great,
He's going to
man.
get information for free. One, not the second though.
Sheesh,
He
man.
did play it well there. Very, very
I
smart.
already
But
said why
SK Rossi
Neon
able
kya
to
kar raha
deny
hai, पीछे से
Damara
आगे,
with
that's
three. And
crazy.
Velocity are going to open up with the first round here
But
in
VLT
the
wins.
final match of the day here on Lotus.
Yeah, that should
Let's
give
go.
them some good confidence
Let's
on
go.
that defensive side as well. It was the pistol round that they did pick up against Full Sense as well. And then the second one, they ultimately closed that map for those that might not have seen that one, 13-7. The reason that I mention it is because it's a bit of a litmus test, right? Now also played Full Sense on this very map of Lotus, same composition, but that went to overtime and they won 14-12. So it's kind of seeing how they are in the server today, how they fare against each other, because we really have showcased so far in VCT Ascension Pacific that any team can beat any team.
These right call.
So many close games.
Rico.
You know, now that we have our top six basically settled, it's still been quite a, you know, tough story for the teams that have been eliminated already. Can't say
Let's
everyone
go.
would have expected
Let's
what
go.
we've seen so
Let's
far.
fuck.
As it's
Damara in
a
form, man.
real demolishment coming through inside mid.
Sheesh.
Not really a surprise though,
Silent.
outside of the fact that there's only
Just
been 6
silent.
points of damage dealt
Yep.
over towards the side of Velocity early on. Very clean, very mean, and 6 on the drop for Damara already.
Yeah, just going to continue with a bit of this destruction to come on through if they want to have a helpful
Very
hand
calm,
and make sure
composed
they win this
aggression.
map
That's
cleanly.
a good sign.
We are definitely looking for
Actually.
consistency from Damara, consistency from Madeline as well.
No
right? One of the top
overconfidence.
performers so far that we are seeing in the whole tournament before today. Up there though is Xavi, right? He is sitting like
Okay, we are going
second,
for bonus.
essentially, really close towards Shiro, who's currently leading everything. So we'll see if he can maybe even take over in today's game.
He was the Ewoks player to watch, I remind you. The battle stage of Xavi. Now SK Rossi looking to try and find
No,
ahead.
not bad, Andy.
They will not be hunted this time. Has to pull away with the rendezvous. Back towards the
But a very
site.
short.
Stalemate for now.
Oh, Damara
Yo,
does have
yo,
the
yo.
ult
Discord
coming
aaja.
in towards this round.
Discord
That
aaja, Discord
overdrive
aaja.
could be
I'm already in
quite
server.
interesting if he chooses to deploy it.
Great opening from Zan, though, finding SK Rossi very, very quickly. Now Moja trying to drop lightning fast and will be able to do it for free. He did have that support there from PTC as well, so it's a nice round so far from now. 3 members taking the site
Yo,
on
hello,
C.
hello, hello.
And now this rotation starts to come in very, very quickly.
Hello,
Already
भाई, finally
through
आ गए
waterfall. Now Russ is going to be the first
मैं
to
wait
take
करते
it,
कितना।
trying to drop Zan, but it's a great paranoia.
अरे मैं
Clean
Discord
from
अपने
Nakia.
server में
Damara
बैठा
with
हुआ था।
1. But that's
वहाँ
all
पे
it's going to
रहता
be
था।
for
हाँ,
him. 7 and
server
1
में
in the score
तुम्हें पता
before
नहीं
he
क्या
is
फिर तुम्हें
denied
बुझाती
now.
करते हो फिर
Finding that first.
अच्छा.
Yeah, that's a very clean anti-bonus coming in from them in this one, only dropping the single player, making sure that
मेरे को लगा तूने कर
having
लिया
the
होगा.
lurk where the lurk is needed, having the full focus on the site control as well. I say lurk, it's actually the double lurk that comes
Right,
on out,
VLT
but there's
is
always an
playing
opportunity
good.
if they're getting a little bit too hot under the collar
Like,
over at that
very
C
composed.
site, they're going to be able to get
सही
away
टाइम पे आया मैं या कुछ
with
राउंड मिस करे मैंने
so
3 राउंड हुए हैं बस.
of itself.
VLT
That
2-1
round
से आ
was
गया,
good.
E को निकाल दिया.
Now we get to see really
Bonus हार
what
गया बेटा.
Velocity have for us with the rifles in their possession. SK Rossi on the operator.
But all are playing good. Like ऐसा नहीं है कि like कोई over aggress कर रहा है या something like that.
Already doing a hell of a
All
lot
are
of damage
very-
over towards Lightning Fast. 2 points of HP, and he has to Shrouded step his way back out as well. In tow with SK
Do a
Rossi
chucha lightning.
looking to drop that operator very, very quickly. We did see Damara take control of Rubble before, but they pulled away completely and rotated.
Damara
to
as
B. A
usual
is
in form
open.
as well as Rossi.
2 HP. Javi.
Tomato always informed रहता है भाई.
Good utility
नहीं
though.
मैंने उसको out of form भी
Seems
देखा
to
भाई.
allow him to live on a little while longer. However, SK Rossi's found Moja in the process, and now Zan obviously going to be taking point
A
over
side
towards
pretty
Rainbow,
much,
but
yeah.
Damara is going to be the one to try and at least lock into that position.
लेंगे
But I
post
think
plant.
they're going to play it wise. They're going to play the full 5-on-4 and
Post
the
plant
relay
क्या
smart.
करेंगे? इनका
उनके
कुछ
पास
है ही नहीं
double
post
duelist
plant.
time पे double initiator है.
Is gonna
So
provide, right? Fault line will eventually come back online, but the flashpoint, the aftershock, these can get you a little bit tricky in tree, so they're not playing there at least.
nice blind है.
Bold from
अरे
PTC
आया,
as
okay.
well. He's going to
Okay,
be
okay,
able
trade
to
मिल
find
गया,
one.
कोई नहीं.
Damara dropped no overdrive in this round, but Russ gets one back. And now as they move in towards the site, everyone is very much pulled away. It's going to be a late wrap potentially from Zan or no. They are going to sort of start to play it from this position, a little bit distanced, but obviously not
What?
exactly planted for them. Nakia are able to drop, but Madeline does manage to get it to half.
Nice,
Drops a
man.
couple
Nice.
more, and now it's all in the Nakia. Or will
breach
it
क्या
be?
मरा है
No.
भाई.
Great response here from Velocity, straight into it, 3 alive, and a third round on the board.
Yeah, they're really holding some strong
Couple of
angles in
breach.
that diffuse
Galette.
scenario as well, right? Getting up that one way makes it a little bit more difficult for anyone looking to just spray and pray on towards the spike. You've got a little late alert coming in for the
Fourth
retake
round.
from SK
वो ना
Rossi.
blind में ले गया भाई Damaro
Holding
को.
the stairs, making sure there's no tricky business in the beginning stages of that post-plant scenario as well. And coming in
Hey,
for
look
the
at me.
final sit down and shut down.
Let's go, bro.
Getting out that defuse velocity to hold onto this lead. Really starting
हमारा
to
भाई
establish
really
some
hype
strong
up बंदा है
confidence
भाई.
now in the new buy of NAOS. Zan's going to omit
Whoa.
himself a rifle to try and pick up.
Random spam हुआ ना ये?
हाँ, random.
या reveal हुआ?
No, 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 random.
Absolutely obliterate Damara to start.
Unlucky भाई.
I've been talking all
होना ही
weekend
था
so
यार.
far, Komodo, about
एक
how
ना एक बार
having
तो होता
fun
ही है.
has been such a big moment, and Velocity certainly are, but Damara a little bit too much fun as he's denied straight through the fast lane. Awesome pick for Moja, especially with Zan only on the Sheriff.
Nice,
Further
nice.
damage will be dealt. Russ
Okay.
and Moja go 1 for
2 for
1.
2.
Zan
No, no,
picks up
improve.
another. That's going to be a Phantom recoverable as well. PTC not going to be meeting with Lightning Fast just yet, so it's going to be a classic 2 versus 3 on the retake.
एक
PTC
minute advantage
with a
है.
late lurk.
Got to dig deep here, especially with an operator in play for SK Rossi as well. You miss the shot, you get out that headhunter if you can. I almost don't want to see PTC commit heavily to this fight. Really play on the elements. of the
Nice.
Later surprise.
अब एक ट्री बचा है. मीन वाले को ही निकाल लेगा ना lightning.
Main वाला तो हाँ निकल जाएगा.
Paranoia through does actually
बस
catch PTC
location
as
मिल
well.
गई.
The damage is dealt.
बस ठीक है.
He forces him away for now. Zan still has that ultimate, still has that relay bolt to throw.
अब दोनों को ये
onto
पुश
the
कर
spike.
ट्री पुश कर देना चाहिए
Now
अकेले
Lightning
को.
Fast trying to creep on in. I don't think he... No, he does actually have a couple of dark covers as well. The relay bolt is a little bit too early. And now Lightning Fast going down. Zan is trying to get all up into the face, and he'll do it with perfection.
Neon है भाई
Great
Neon.
work there from Zan. A 3K, and now as
Neon को
quickly as
nerf
they
मिलना
drop one,
logical
they're
है
straight
भाई.
back with another.
ये
Oh,
देख.
there's a lot of pressure on Zan to be able to finish off that round as well for them, right?
Random
The fact
में मरा
that
बेचारा.
the first kill comes on towards
भाई,
the fade
short
outside
देखा
of the
तूने?
door, makes it a little bit tricky
हाँ.
with this connected play from Zan and PTC. When I look and glance over to the HUD as well, I see that Patricia still has
ये किसका map choice है ये ऐसे?
thoughts,
किसका map pick है?
right? Didn't place
Lotus
them
तो
at all.
VLT का है.
Generally, you can have a
VLT
lot of
का होगा
stalling
ना?
power in
हाँ.
those sort of scenarios. Had he thrown them over
VLT
towards the
free
breakable
है.
door or stairs, could have
एसेंट का है.
employed
इग्नो में
a
वैसे
little
VLT
bit
का
of
ठीक है.
value,
एसेंट को
but
छोड़. एसेंट थोड़ा सा
not enough.
वीक है एज
And they're in
कंपेयर.
safe
वरना
hands
हेवन
with
और लोटस तो बढ़िया ही
Now
है.
they'll look to tie things up in the little lesser buy of velocity. Spotting out
से hit हो
before
रहा है
SK Rossi is again at this seaside.
5 minutes.
Oh, this is going to be awkward. Damara does get one, but with
और
that
एक
sort of
लिया
force,
हो,
SK Rossi has to
ले
connect
लिया
onto the
था.
shots, and he's denied
एक तो
immediately.
लिया.
Almost.
Nakia finds the first onto SK Rossi. And now this large rotation coming all the way through C long. How quickly can Velocity get here?
Well, PDC dead. Meant there was no flank watch. They reveal themselves with the door and the prowler.
तीन
So you
बंदे main
start
से आ
to
रहे
get an idea of how much
उनको
this
देखना,
retake is
सारे hall
happening
खेल रहे
from
हैं
the
भाई.
mound side as
हाँ,
Mouse
सब
takes
city
full
है.
halls control.
I was about to say, this is quite a deep investment. I don't know if it's the wisest choice for them. They're going to have to try and wrap around, but it looks like already Russ is ready on the distance. And we're talking about how good he was, already finding that
Trade
lone.
game चल रहा है
Nakia,
भाई.
Moja getting
That's
a couple
crazy
more,
भाई.
but still
दोनों
a
side से
2-on-2.
trade game चल रहा है.
Xavi, Nakia, what are you going to be able to do in this position? Lightning Fast Creeping on in, Russ with the
Nice,
shot
man.
to try and hold them back for a little while longer. He does pick up another, and now into that defuse. Can he hit the shot? Can he connect? He's done well, and Lightning Fast will have not enough time. Has not been able to live up to his namesake in this one. He'll go down to the Radiant as well, as that'll be clutch to come through for the side of NAOS.
That's something you just gotta really adjust for in the middle of this
Trade
game.
game
Is
बहुत
going
प्यारा
to
चल
be
रहा
that
है
breach
भाई.
utility.
एक भी ऐसा नहीं हो रहा कि दो बंदे मार दे रहा
We
कोई.
do see breach still played, especially after the breach KO meta has kind of all but disappeared. So there is the adjustments and the good usage, I will admit, of Russ on the flank, on the aftershock as well to try and buy the time, but there was just not enough time on the retake at the end. Good usage of the Nightfall, of the drift to contain everything that NAOS needed. And they will reset the economy of Velocity quite handsomely at the moment. Unless we get a cheeky Thrifty to come on through. We have had our fair share of those over the course of this tournament.
Tag नहीं हो पाया.
Good attempt. One of those rogue headhunter bullets can do some serious damage. That's always the thing, you know. Chamber, an interesting agent, can definitely shoot, but without utility, if you can't aim, not exactly the best agent to be doing stuff for you. So back towards A. They are going to make their way in for free, it would appear here now, but it will be a 5-on-5 retake for Velocity.
Where do they choose to plant? How far deep do they go into the site as well? Got to be careful when this Rolling Thunder and full set of utilities are available. I mean, look how much Velocity have for this.
Movement है भाई.
Damara's going to go straight in. Does still have the Bucky on towards the defuse already. Relay Bolt is going to slow it down slightly. Hunter's
भाई full stick कर रहा है वो.
Oh भाई.
भाई full stick कर दिया भाई.
And he's found it. There is no way this has just occurred. What a round from Damara.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Look how many Velocity have to go in towards that retake, and they use the perfect amount.
No hesitation, भाई. For a second भी hesitation नहीं थी. Like go and
Rachel सही करा ना. Rachel सही आ गया. इसलिए बच गए.
5 to get on it. You look towards the utility that is actually available on the flip side, right? Only Zan died, by the way. That was a 5 versus 4 scenario when that defuse comes through. Because I look at, again, the point I'm wanting to make. For NAOS here, there is no destructive utility. There is no way you're getting them off the site really in these moments unless you have the thorns pre-placed and popped. Really, really well recognized and played and risked from Velocity in that. But, mate, it's an eco. They didn't really have a lot to lose in that scenario, so the fact that they come out with the victory is mental.
Morgan was talking about it, right? Russ, comms, utility usage, perfection, the breach.
They have the confidence.
Such an impactful agent.
But अगर उनको advantage नहीं मिलेगा तो like
not seen on Lotus.
कुछ तो करेंगे reset करने के लिए.
Rolling Thunder was perfect to just keep them off Damara.
No, absolutely, man. They'll reclaim a bit of control in the lead. They'll bolster up their own little economy to a slight degree with it as well. But it more so just permits towards this round and a little bit of a slap towards NAOS as well. They might not want to just fully disconnect themselves in post-plant scenarios. Keep a couple of members on the side itself. Going to put some good value on the Steel Garden in a round such as this too. Early on in the piece still, as Rubble is full contest with Loki.
Very quick there as well. Naki actually managing to find both of them. Damara and Russ taken down immediately. Two very impactful members. So despite winning that previous round on the Thrifty, you know, so far they've already lost 2 of these weapons. Now looking to do what they can here. Lightning Fast having to take a very aggressive point here. Prowler goes through, gets the information, straight onto the shoulder step will be Moja. The Madeline, what can you do here, my friend? Well, the answer is nada. SK Rossi has to rotate his way back in, but unfortunately only with the Outlaw, I don't think anyone is going to be getting anything for Velocity here. Fantastic flawless there from NAOS.
As soon as that little late stage is there as well for SK Rossi, it does feel like the round is just already met its demise, right? Just caught off guard. The rest of the team falling on down to the good trades and crossfires and just good forward destruction. That now throw their way. And as soon as he pops the shear, I mean, kind of revealed, right? So, bit unlucky in that one for Velocity. Does look like they immediately want to shut that down as well with a timeout.
Don't blame you.
Yeah.
Good time for the coach to sort of call it back. Still very early days into this series, 4-4. couple more rounds before we do switch the sides. But so far, it's been pretty even. They've been looking pretty good. Both these teams showing moments of individual brilliance, but I do feel like NAOS are somewhat steering the ship still in these gun rounds.
A little bit. I mean, you're going to see a lot of these adjustments still and recognize what is working in strength and what your opponents are finding in weakness. Sometimes your own weaknesses that you could try and bait on in as well. To a degree, right? These teams want to get the win. They want to be top of the group as well, right?
क्या score होगा? Final score क्या होगा?
We'll see for NAOS in the bracket. We've still got that.
इनका वो कैसा है? क्या बोलते हैं इनका attack?
किनका?
Well,
VLT का?
after this.
Yep.
VLT का देखा तूने?
Too much when you got that safety net.
Lotus में कहाँ देखा मैंने?
You also want to make sure that you
Attack
are
तो बढ़िया ही
really
है.
comfortable. You want to get the victory, of course. Get more
ब्रीच एंड
fans
नियॉन कॉम्बो
behind you.
जिस मैप पे ये खेलते हैं इनका
And
अटैक
just
हमेशा
getting
अच्छा
that upper
रहता है.
bracket final spot, right? You know, not having to be on
ऊपर से
immediate
चेंबर भी
elimination.
लाइक डिफेंसिव पोजीशन नहीं खेलता
As
इनका
long as
तो
you're not
लाइक
third seed. First and second
Correct.
seeds get into that upper bracket. Third seed, well, they're going
मेरे
to start a
हिसाब
little bit
से
जब रोसी
होगा-
साइफर खेलता है तो थोड़ा
Look, I'm
डिफेंसिव
just
हो
so
जाते हैं
jaded at
बट
this
लाइक
point in time, Komodo, with every
चेंबर
team
के साथ तो
taking every
डिफेंस
single
नहीं होते.
series just as seriously
ऊपर से
as the
फेड
other.
है साथ में ओमन है
It's so
ऑल
important
अटैक
for
है
the
पूरा
momentum to
पूरा
continue
अटैकिंग
in
टीम.
तुम्हें क्या लगता है क्लोज मैच जाएगा या नहीं?
Yeah, for sure.
क्या जाएगा?
You're going to get
क्लोज
another
मैच.
steal
ये तो
of a
क्लोज
round
जाना बनता है
here
भाई
is Velocity,
लॉजिकली.
though.
बल्कि वैसे मेरे से पूछे तो VLT इज
Put the
ऑन
red
द
nose
लाइक
on if they're able
weaker
to
end.
for now.
Uh-oh. PTC ready for that to defend Emoja's honor.
नास
Still two members on towards this
Better
side to
team
try and
है.
deny, but again, only with the classics. I mean, SK Rossi does have the
Nice.
headhunt up, but
नाउस
the sheer down towards bottom mid. Zan just waiting to see if he can find it. Don't think the Horn's going to catch any further information, so they are relatively unchecked for now. PTC is going to be taken down very, very quickly.
Nice.
Moja tagged up in the
No,
process.
okay.
Ross gets a couple,
Nice
but
way.
it's well cleared towards the back of the site, and I don't think SK Rossi's in a position to do a hell of a lot from here.
I mean, you say well cleared. I see that as a realm in which NAOS just had no consideration that there was going to be anyone backside. The Haunt doesn't clear backside at all. The Arc Rose doesn't go there.
Save that
They're
would
just
have
expecting that no one is sitting
Save that
backside whatsoever. They kind of overlook that. Imagine a different scenario where there's a couple of weapons
मेरे
there.
हिसाब से
right?
ये होने
Could've
वाला है
actually
13-11.
turned
तुम
off
क्या
the
कहते हो?
count. So NAOS are making a couple of mistakes.
13-11
Against
किसको?
Eco here, that will reveal
Uh,
the strength. So
ये
they have to take
VLT.
that as a strength.
VLT जीतने वाली
This is the
13-11 से.
time to have that little
ये
lapse
जीती जाएगी
to-
यार इनका
That's
वो है मैप
crazy.
पिक.
That's crazy.
They seem pretty
I
focused
would say-
right now. Naos,
I would
not really
say
letting anything sort of get too
OT
far
जाएगा.
ahead of them.
I think
It's always
OT.
an interesting series looking at this one. The eye test says that it should go 3 maps, but you know, Naos have been playing pretty lights out Valorant throughout the course of this competition. Now Nike straight
Nice.
to the site, SK Rossi
Nice, nice.
ready for it. So the From the Shadows denied quickly.
मैं चाहता हूँ मैं
Zan
इस बार
obviously
गलत हो
pushing
जानबूझ
in
के.
the Nightfall as
चाहता
well
हूँ
to force
VLT
SK
जल्दी
Rossi
खत्म करे.
away. So they are going to lock in towards the site, but it will be at a disadvantage.
पर
Yeah, he was very ambitious to stick that from the shadows, wasn't he? Just didn't really get to
Also
Rossi was
space
around the
बना
pillar.
दिया.
Now forward space in the holes once more.
अरे
रोसी के
God.
मूवमेंट कभी कभी मेरे को
Mara
अपने जैसे
gonna be
लगते हैं
able to
जैसे
be the
मैं
first
एकदम
to
स्टक
get
कर
back
जाता हूँ
in
ना कहीं
towards
पे
it as well. A
ऐसे
second
ही
kill, but
क्या
Savvy
करना है
goes straight in. The
चेंबर लेके
IGL continues to be the hero for this team. He's actually not going to get caught by the Nightfall either. So all of a sudden, Moja, Zavvi can
3v2,
lock themselves
yeah.
into a decent post plant, even at their disadvantage. Now the overdrive, the aftershock going
Must
through.
be
nice.
Madeline does find
23.
one here, but
Position नहीं
Zavvi,
पता है.
oh god,
मैं
how
इसने
long
crazy
can
set
it
कर
take
दी
before
कुछ.
It's going to be so awkward. Does get an additional shot, but Madeline
नहीं कर पाया.
sticking that defuse does
Plant
get
नहीं था
off
ना,
it
plant
in the
अगर वो
end,
maybe
but it's
main का
another
plant
round
होता तो
picked up
शायद
by
possible था.
Velocity. Great retake there, obviously finding the opening pick, but that was just clean back into the site.
5-5.
It's a kind of stumbling roll of the stick of the Omen ultimate from Nakia there, and then you
Omen
get
ने
him
set देखा ही नहीं भाई, वो
forward
set
in the
देखा था
holes
वो.
by himself with no real tradability. If you want to take this whole space, you have to do it commandingly, just like they did last time, right?
right.
You can't haphazardly just
PTC
sit a
भाई.
player or two there and
Gun है भाई PTC.
allow Velocity to come to you, because this breach utility, they're already showcasing in the previous series, in previous installments of this map locally.
Without seal
they're
lock
very
कर दबे
strong
तो
when Ross is able to call around his utility to set up the team to what they do best, what Tamara does best and Madeline does best on these retakes.
चलो
Now,
ट्रबल तो
Space
मिल
तो
गया.
बना लिया अब.
afford to
अब ये तो
let them do that.
It's exactly what you need from your captain, right? Someone who's going to allow everyone to thrive, to shine. Same from your coaching staff. Moja, though, already all the
Nice.
way through. Madeline is there to trade Russ quickly.
Nice.
Damara finding Zan in the process. as
Okay,
well. Oh my
1 HP.
god, Madeline.
एक
the
HP.
impact that
What?
he had in
नहीं
his
भाई.
last couple of rounds, but PTC,
नहीं,
I'll
नहीं,
never
नहीं,
count
नहीं.
him out.
ये तो गलत हो
The
गया.
Vice Making it all work here. Steel Garden available.
Lightning
Razor
आ गया भाई,
Vines in
lightning
tow
यार,
as
अगर
well. You're
एक बंदा
talking
मारता
about
है
him
यहाँ से
getting
तो
them
एक बनी
down
में तो ले
towards
सकता
stairs
है.
earlier.
Yeah.
Nakia will find that dark cover down for now.
It's a big boon that both of the smokers are alive as well because on
हमारा
11
का बनना तो
HP,
चल ठीक है, एक
VCT
सेकंड के
needs
हजम हो गया,
assist from
दूसरे को नहीं
Nakia.
मारना था.
Block off an angle or two. You'll be able to work a little bit
Nice,
better.
nice.
Overlook lightning
खत्म
falls
हो गया
in
इसी
its
को.
ये
entirety.
एक HP है सिर्फ
I was about to say, he does manage to slip the net for this paranoia. The arc rose is up. He's got to hear the footsteps
भाई का
of
नाम ही
SK
PTC है
Rossi.
भाई.
But what angle does he check first? What does he clear? He's played it forward. And he
Nice
might be
one.
able to find two, but no, SK Rossi. It's a body shot, but it's a shot nonetheless. And when PTC's 11
उसी का
points
भी
of
अल्ट आ
HP,
गया.
a gentle breeze
इन्होंने
could
वो
knock
अल्ट
him
भी नहीं
over.
मारा पर भाई इसका.
VLT taking the lead back.
It's just easy on the comms in that moment,
That
isn't he?
के बाद.
11 HP, one shot, just bait and
उनको ये था कि
switch,
शायद
jump
चेंबर
into
बचा
the
हुआ है,
trade.
तो वो तो वैसे भी
Now
हेड
that
हंटर पे
one
खेल
kill
लेगा.
is lost in that moment. You got the round, more importantly, as Velocity.
मे भी चेंबर नहीं होता तो शायद अल्ट मार देते.
Keep things entertaining.
Oh,
To keep this one going, because this is your own map pick, of course, as Velocity, right? You always want to be getting your map pick. You want to shake off any nerves coming onto the stage. This is a different scenario, though. when
ये
we
पे
look at
अकेला ही खेल रहा है ये
Velocity
बंदा
as well,
रोसी.
right? How dominant have they been in South
दो
Asia this year?
तीन सी.
Couple of
से
first
पुश कर रहे
trophies,
हैं.
one that's not a first, but it's still a top podium.
ये फास्ट है
definitely
करेंगे
looking
फिर.
good. And that's the thing, you know, it's a region that desperately needs
हमारा ने
representation
पूरा
in
control
Tier
ले लिया
1.
back
There's
से.
so much
Nice.
talent to offer.
हाँ.
And when you've got some, you know, solid heads on the shoulders of these players.
Yeah. PDC gone, so
45
Steel Garden not available in at this
Okay.
last round
Time
of the half.
यार.
You can get the plant down, but it's going to be a pretty favorable retake for Velocity once again. If Russ gets a kill, that's Rolling Thunder once more.
Forced away off the line. SK Rossi
पाँचों इधर से ही है.
now
No way.
creeping on in. Just going to be
Blind मारेंगे ना
defending
सबको.
for the time being. Prowler destroyed. Zan
Nice.
taken as well. This is beautiful
Bus.
from Velocity. Making their way in with Russ getting that kill. The Hunter's Fury, the Rolling Thunder pops their way through. And now he
Bus.
drops another. A
अरे
third
भाई,
for Russ
region
and
तो
a
post plant के
fourth.
लिए बनी है
My
भाई.
word. There is a reason
बनी ही
Big
उस चीज
Time
के
was
लिए वो.
talking him up. Russ with a huge round on the breach. Velocity, they'll sit 7-5 in the half
7-5
on
भाई,
their match
nice score
selection
यार.
of Lotus.
Nice score.
That's another
This
really
way,
well
this
coordinated
way.
round to come out from them, to be honest with you. A couple of wonky shots from NAOS at the end there that don't get the job done, don't get the trades on in. You got the isolated kill against PTC. You also kind of question the back of sight plant, the heaven attempts to
Nice
get on
one.
through. You're just stuck in some
Like,
awkward
अगर
spots
आज
to try
VLT
and
जीत
defend
जाती है
that
ना, तो मेरे को
spike
ऐसा
at the
लगता
end.
है
Not the
कि
right plant location. You think
कंटेंडर
for
है, टॉप 2
NAOS
कंटेंडर
there.
है 10 टीमों
And
में.
the 7-5 they'll have in
VLT फिर
deficit.
तो.
Velocity lead on the exchange.
हाफ टाइम हो गया.
हाँ.
7-5 स्कोर चल रहा है.
क्योंकि इसके
Pistol
बाद
की वो
एनएस
बात
बचे,
है.
एनएस बचेगी अपने ग्रुप की टीम तो, और सामने वाले ग्रुप में बूम अच्छी है. उसके अलावा तो कौन सी अच्छी और इतनी ज़्यादा अच्छी तो मेरे को नज़र कोई भी और ऐसी नहीं है कि जो बहुत ही एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी कुछ कर दे. देखता हूँ, मैं नाम भूल गया दूसरी टीम का यार.
देखो देखो.
उस ग्रुप में SLT एक भी हारी नहीं है भाई. ये कौन सी टीम है? कोरिया की टीम है.
एक भी नहीं आ रही.
एक भी नहीं आ रही 3 मैच में से. बूम एक हार गई.
इंसेन भाई.
वाह भाई. अपने ग्रुप
Hell
में
of a
तो
lot of
यही
back
है.
and forth so far
NAOS ही
between
है.
these two teams. Velocity will lead
जो
the
एक भी नहीं
charge
हारी,
at the
3 के 3
half,
जीती
but
है
will
सब वाले.
NAOS be able to bring it right back.
Oh, when we look at the
ये
attacking
push करते
sides
हैं.
right now, for NAOS, it was a little bit of an
Full start हो
equilibrium
गया.
state like we saw against the Full Sense team. It was 7-5. They had only the 5 on the attacking side as well, but a strong...
तो
क्या हुआ ये?
फर्स्ट 10 Stun ने दिक्कत दे दी
attack for velocity, and they're gonna start again, just charging in.
ये उनके stun ने
Zan able to connect with the opening shot here as the door opens and twists around. Again, Russ. It's such an impressive player to watch for the time being. Zan will connect with another shot though, and it's a three-peat for him. And he's up and out of his chair as he has been. A nice three-peat for the Neon of Zan.
Yeah, good little counterplay towards the pillars pop out from Velocity in that one, but they shouldn't be too worried, right? The 7-5 just means that it would be the tied scoreline if the next round goes to its usual conclusion. As now finds that one. Now, they did also lose the pistol in the second round to full sense, right? It's the defuse retakes that come through in the not so close, but also close style. And then they got 9 rounds in a row on attack. So it is a definite strong suit for Velocity, but it was also early in the tournament, right? Different stage, different teams. Now had the time to do some homework on this one.
Taking some serious scalps so far.
तीन
Full
जने
sense
side
through
पे
the order.
दो जने
See now versing NAOS, who is currently sitting the top of this group. With Dongshim Red Force not too far away either. They've got to show up to the party here, Velocity. They need to show that their run is not just a fluke. And I don't believe it is so far. They have been crushing it.
Oh, absolutely.
Madeline still has the spike for now, but you're always going to sort of walk past these rounds unless some earlier things happen.
Both of these teams making some really good decisions, hitting some really good shots, looking very well coordinated. Now essentially fighting for the top seed in the second group, right? In Group B.
प्लान तो हो जाएगा
Madeline just going to maximize what he can in this round. Get a couple kills, get the orb, get another one in death, get a little bit closer towards that nightfall.
पर तीनों single site hold कर रहे हैं तो
30 seconds left.
All the way back now. Spike plant would be absolutely brilliant, and does get peppered down. Xavi does connect on the shot, so it's a tied up scoreline. But obviously now they have to contest with the bonus to see if Velocity can still hold on to this lead.
This is going to be the time to see if Velocity are kind of going to get away with murder on the attacking side, in my mind, to see if NAOS are ready for a couple of the tricks that they have up their sleeve. When you look towards this team of Velocity as well, we do have a lot of emphasis on SK Rossi on this chamber too, right? When you're opting to stretch out the norm of the usual Sentinels, you need to make sure that your lurks are happening. It's a little bit more prominent on the defensive side, which they were still, they did enough on, in my mind, for sure. But on this attacking side, be with the team. Hit those shots.
Ooh. I can't believe it. The Neons have completely blinked past each other, and Zan's going to be able to get one off the back of it lightning fast. Denied in his shrouded step. But Damara obviously on the other side is going to be now heading his way towards Breakable. Xavi has to reposition accordingly. Doesn't want to fight that fight. Mojo, oh, that's bold. Not a good idea to get in there early. Just play the retake.
Now we're going to see Velocity set up on the site as well. Something that now struggled to contain in the post-lane scenarios.
Nice one, nice one, nice one.
Damara still actually fighting that kill even after avoiding the fake out and breaking it accordingly. So far, now disadvantage here. Look at this walkthrough. Xavi trying to play with fire around the other side of this dark cover. I think he might have been able to find some space. The paranoia, it doesn't quite connect on these remaining players. They are in some decent positioning now, but now the rat will start to come in from NAOS. Damara denying one, Moja getting another back, but that's going to be the rest of the falling. Phenomenal round to deny the bonus from Velocity, 3 alive. And now we'll turn into the first gun round.
The positioning from them in the post plan as well, right? When the paranoia comes over towards drop and Russ is a few seconds off.
Grip कैसे दमाड़ा की?
Not just getting caught out with trying to.
Mouse grip देखी तुमने? कैसे पकड़ता है वो एकदम glow type?
They need to hold in this post plan. I was looking towards SK Rossi and I'm kind of wondering what are you going to do if you do get smoked off? But the rest of his team was enough of a distractor for him to pop out of the smoke and do what he needed to, getting that
एकदम आगे से पकड़ते
kill.
एकदम आगे से.
Back to what we saw from him kind of last year, right? A little bit scared in those sort of moments to go in for a fight. So it's good to see that he is with the team on this one.
Similar है Damara जैसे. मैं बहुत आगे से
How do they get away with this, man? Damara and Russ, they've just been playing such perfect Valorant. Awesome synergy.
ये क्या हो गया मैच में?
But it's Xavi who opens up with 2. Can he find
nice,
a third? No, it's a
fast, lightning fast.
1v2 बढ़िया side तो खाली है.
He's going to be wondering where the hell the rest of his team has gone. All falling outside rubble and breakable.
भाई को बोला सी गार्ड करना, भाई सी गार्ड करेगा जब तक प्लांट नहीं जाएगा.
Well, you would assume that he's going to have to try and give this one a crack, right? So 1 versus 2.
अभी साउंड थोड़ी जाएगी,
Early
प्लांट की साउंड जाएगी.
stages in this second half.
दरवाजे की वो तो आता है लोगो मैप में बना
But
हुआ.
he's just so far away from the action to hear anything. It's going to be a
बस
plant
सिर्फ सोच
to
रहे
the heart's content
सी
of
पे.
Velocity. And if you are PTC, because you are so far away, when you hear that it's going to be planted at the A site of things, are you just
अवन
calling
तो
for a
आगे का
save?
स्पेस बना
Are you
लिया.
opting for this retake
नहीं
at
बना
all?
रहे.
He's going to start to make the marathon on over, but again, Mitch,
यार,
there's just
पता नहीं मेरी
A
गट फीलिंग
flash
कहती है
that
ट्री
you'll
नहीं
have.
खेलना चाहिए.
you're doubling
तुम्हारे
up
पास
here
इतना
as
time हो ना?
Velocity. It's the right play.
तो you have
डबल ट्री है पर तो इट्स ओके.
हाँ तो हाँ
Fine,
वो
this
तो
time
ठीक ही
here,
है.
PTC.
वो तो सिंगल होता तो भी लाइक
Tamer for Rossi.
1 सेकंड के लिए बर्दाश्त था.
Yeah, just really heading in slow. Nice and simple
Up
and
and down,
straightforward, not
buddy.
needing to
Peek
overthink
अच्छी
this
है
one
but-
at all. And I think
Oh, yeah.
PTC's actually run out of time completely, yeah.
Save
He's
करेगा.
taking his
Just not
weaponry
seen
into the
anyone.
next.
सेव करेगा ये.
That's the thing. If he sees one of the guys, he goes for the fight. If he doesn't see anything, then he just can't do anything about it, right? So that's why I kind of highlight he's on the complete other side of the
Nice,
map,
yeah.
and he's
Nice,
just going to have to
nice,
save
nice,
for
nice,
it. Velocity, they'll hold on to this lead on their map pick of choice.
Well played. There's been a
Good
lot of
job,
hype
round
around
off.
this roster right now. And obviously, you know, now it's a team that came in
Lightning
to
ने
this
यहाँ पे
competition a
निकाला
little bit
double kill.
aggrieved. They definitely
तो-
had a
हाँ.
much better
अरे
looking year
स्ट्रीम अटक गई मेरी.
last year in Ascension. It
मेरे
certainly
साथ भी हो
wasn't
रहा
the
था
same
अभी.
look.
पता
They
नहीं
go
क्या हो रहा है.
international.
YouTube में glitch चल रहा है I
They
think.
pick up players like PTC and Zan. NAOS have been playing phenomenally since, and I guess the same thing could be said for Velocity inside their own region.
I mean, even over in that Vietnam finals for the SEA playoffs, right? Not the greatest look
बच
against
गया.
Full Sense in that lower 5 final.
कभी
Same
कभी
can
ऐसा
be
लगता
said for the
कि
2-0 that Motive dealt them
देख
an
रहा तो
upper.
शोल्डर के पास में लगी गई है उसके.
The fact that they're able to turn that
और कभी
around.
कभी
in
लक इतना
Ascension,
तगड़ा होता है भाई
already
ऐसे
booked their ticket into the playoffs.
चिपक जाती है बस
So
गोली.
they're looking, you know, pretty happy with that one, but this
The
is
one
definitely a
shot
game
out
that
लो
they
से
wanna be securing
वो
the
PTC को छोड़
highest
के.
seed.
बस क्या चाहिए और?
ये भी गया.
SK Rossi there as well.
टैलेंट है ही भाई पे.
Zan is going to try and get
कोई
relay
नहीं,
तो
ball
टीम में
out.
कहाँ गए?
Will
अच्छा,
catch,
C
very
में.
nice.
C,
Zabby,
yeah,
if he
C
can drop
plant
one
होगा.
here, there could be a potential chance to bring this back, but into Waterfall he will have to
Nah,
go.
don't
PTC
worry.
now up nice
कोई
and
नहीं ट्रेड ले
close.
रहे हैं ना.
He
ट्रेड
did
पे
have
खेलोगे
the
तो कोई
Soul
दिक्कत नहीं है.
Phantom in the
और उन
round.
पे एक
That
मैच
has
भी नहीं
now
है
been
बिल्कुल ही.
denied, so it's going to be probably a little bit too challenging for these two players now. Zabby
हाफ से का
low.
मैच में.
Zan does have the outlaw. He
Yeah,
does
full
have
health
the
है.
overdrive though. So maybe if they get a kill, they could try and sniff this retake out.
I mean, you got to give it a crack anyway, right? It's an eco round. You've got
पैनो है ना
nothing
अपन
really
पे
to lose in
बढ़िया
this
ना.
one.
बस पैनो है
If you use the
बढ़िया.
उन पे
overdrive,
एक पे
though, and
health
it
नहीं है, एक पे
goes
outlaw
wayward,
है.
then that's rough.
So until unless you don't peak अपना
अरे
round.
अपना ही राउंड है.
Very methodic to try and
पैनो लेके बैठा
pick
हुई हूँ
out one
मैं.
of these individuals. If they can get the 1v1, maybe there is a simple chance, but now as the information is gathered, they don't want to get baited out about it too much. Madeline goes to seize over the
Yeah,
top. He's
no,
actually
bus.
looking the other way, and Zan, unfortunately, has to pull away. Great time, Paranoia. Zavi picks up the Phantom. Okay, maybe there's a chance here. Now that's the overdrive pop. They're going to be moving in lightning fast.
बोल रहा हूँ
Zan,
मैं. बोल
who
रहा
is
हूँ until
lightning
unless
fast
you
himself.
don't peak. वो जो पहला kill गया ना.
Gets the job done here as NAOS will recover only just. And it's a beautiful
pehla
round
kill.
against them with not really a hell of a lot of weaponry, and it all started with Zan finding SK Rossi.
Yeah, he's quick on that one, isn't he? That is the go mark. As soon as you get that kill for the 2 versus 2, you know it's go time. Get that overdrive out. Catch them off guard. Catch them. But they can't move. And in that
पे
point
ये
in
वाला.
time as well, Shadi
रस
just
का जो
kind
kill
of
गया था.
turns into a little bit of a distractor, right? Make them look the other way.
रस अगर नीचे
Really
डिफेंसिव
well
होगा थोड़ा एक
done
एंगल
from
पे
him.
खेलता तो शायद अल्ट पीक नहीं करता
Thrifty
अपनी.
again to come through here.
भाई को खड़ा होना है. भाई का तार लंबा कर दो भाई.
Zan
Enough for a
loves
timeout.
getting out of his chair, but it looks like he was denied by his headphones in that moment.
I gotta say, Siu Fat BB has changed these players when he started standing up earlier on in Masters. Everyone, dude, I saw someone stand up in round 2. Like, I get the hype and everything.
Oh, it's
But
good,
we're
man.
standing up just to stand up sometimes, it feels like.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, but it's so hard to not be excited. You know, even sitting
Oh,
here
yeah.
in the safety of my own home right now, there's been a couple of rounds where I've stood up out of my chair. It's just the energy that comes into an event like Ascension. As I said, you know, you grind out tier 2 all the stages throughout the course of the year. Some have 2, some have 3, and then you find yourself flying to another region, you know, to play in these finals, to get 2 shots and a chance in Pacific. Certainly worth standing up
भाई
for.
साहब
For sure.
4 अल्ट. We have 4 अल्ट भाई.
Just just trying to remember to myself back to the old CN region when I was watching it as well. See if it maybe put it on the map at Masters, but I think it was Saw that started it. Anywho's big round here, and well, that might just be it already. Moja and Zan to start things off.
Standing up for sure. Two of these individuals that have been relied on heavily throughout the course of this competition for NAOS. And now it makes it a little bit more uncomfortable because you look at the financial situation of Velocity. Bought the wrong stock, clearly.
What do you look to do to get back into this round as Velocity? Because you don't really want things to tie on up, right? You drop the Thrifty. Now scores a timeout for themselves. Slow it on down. Need to see a misstep from Naus here, perhaps.
Woo-hoo! My words. You know, it's just crazy, like, the impact ever since Neon came into the pool. You see these individuals that have just been able to play a completely different blend of Valorant. Just allowing that aggression to really be taken advantage of.
The credits are looking a little bit in the bin right now for Velocity 2, right? So to save in this 2 versus 5 might be the optimum call. You're not going to see too much of a hunt, you'd assume, from Naus either, because they're not swimming in cash for days either. So it will look to turn into an equal state.
Man, a 30-second save. How crazy is this compared to the series that we had prior?
Legitimately, I was just thinking that as well. You put them on the scales, and you've just got, like, chaos on one side. And this one, you've got, like, the moments of chaos, but it is a lot more measured in tempo here.
This is where you start to go podcast mode. Yeah, I've had a good day. How about you? Yeah, it's good. All right.
Yeah, I watered my grass.
You are truly Unk.
Yep.
Man gets a house. Realizes there's things to do.
Well, there's things to do right now for Velocity, that's for sure. If they don't want to be dropping this one, they're seeing a little bit more on this defensive side for now. Getting dirty in the duels, getting the defusers out in a thrifty variety as well. This is not the way that they thought this half would have started for them. When they drop the pistol in the second round, things are all right, but when they get the two themselves, they're thinking it's pretty cool.
And cool is exactly what's going to be needed in warm Bangkok. So the early duel has been pulled away. Moja not interested. Going to play back from drop. Looking with the operator. That door is going to be opening. They are going to be heading in there. It's going to be very, very challenging to try and clear him here, but instead he pulls away. The gate crash out. And the old classic Okamoto, the good old 5 versus 5 on the retake.
I mean, you got the Nightfall that Madeline has to answer back with the one that Xavi is preparing.
Looks like Damara wants to still try and play all up in their face, and I don't blame him. The Prowler, though, does get the catch.
Man.
Oh, he's slowed down by that Rolling Thunder from Russ, but now Lightning Fast gets 2 back for his troubles. Now 3 versus 2, only with the pistols here.
Nice.
Have to rely on that Headhunter beautifully. Cracks the head of PTC. And now as they creep
Let's
in,
go, man.
He's got a perfect ramp here. Madeline, it's going to leave it all on Anakia right now. 72 points of HP. The Prowler will be destroyed.
Let's go.
And SK Rossi to put him straight into the grave. Beautiful stuff from Velocity. Bye-bye.
That's the smart decision-making from saving those 2 rifles in the previous one, isn't it, right? They lead by example in towards this round. They get in towards the site. When you
Lightning
got
is
the
doing
ult to
some
start
great
their
work
affairs from Russ
in this
towards
match.
it, you off-put the operator that's down in drop. And then you just get out the shots. SK Rossi with the Headhunter finding a very required one to make that a workable scenario. Madeline around the site as well. Doing Candace with the bait of the Prowler back around the site. Really smartly done from Velocity. And now there's 4 players that start off over on the other side of the map for now, leaving just PTC to take the challenge at sea.
This is tricky. You know, do you want to invest now? Arcro's destroyed. Information
Let's go.
gathered. Damara, though, taken by PTC. Lightning Fast does get the response, though, so 4 versus 4 it will stand. And are they going to get aggressive in towards spawn? I think they absolutely will. Up on the Seahole, Zan looking to get all up in their face. He crosses the line.
Let's
Lightning
go,
Fast, though,
let's
with
go,
2.
VLT.
Russ gets another. That does take the sweat off this team
1v2,
a little bit right now.
1v2,
Moja,
don't
Nakia
overpeak,
having
don't
to find their
overpeak.
way in. And with that gate crash going through, surely
Nice
they're going to
TP.
get some information.
Nice TP.
Onto the teleport, onto the location of this Yoru. Now the breakaway.
Let's
it's
go.
actually the blind that comes through, but it's not going to matter when Lightning Fast is hitting shots like that. I love this right now. Velocity have responded with 2 on the trot, and they hit 11.
It's a little bit murky for the Halls plays that's coming
The
through
trade
from
is
NAOS
good.
in my mind. PDC does well to get the first one
And
towards
Bruce
Damara. But
Rossi,
takes the
as
second one
usual,
where
doing
it's not really
great job,
necessary.
right?
And then you've got
Just for
Xavi
info.
and Zan peeking in before the paranoia even pops on through. These are the mistakes that you can't be affording to
Yo,
make.
yo,
If you're
yo,
sending
hello,
him
hello,
to
hello.
his site,
Discord
wait
out, bhai,
for it
Discord
to
out.
actually eventuate before you go for the individual
Kya kar rahe ho yahan
swings. Go for it together. These are the things we need to start to rope in. These are the things where the pressure scenarios start to get the better of you a little.
And Damara having a ball right now, doing
My
damage,
spam मार दो
denying.
smokes में.
The
Not gonna
Velocity
lie.
need to make
Let's
sure
go.
that they do not
Let's
lose this round right now. Zan
Go.
with one denied quickly.
Man advantage.
And Mojo also taken very, very low. SK
Man
Rossi finds
fucking
PTC.
advantage.
And
खत्म है.
Velocity
ये round भी
have
अपना.
played
Let's
this
go.
to
12-9.
perfection. Denying the counter eco. It's not going to be happening this time round. Mojo with 5 HP. It feels impossible.
Yes.
Oh yeah, this one's just not doable. Velocity get onto 12 and map point for their own map.
VLT,
in this
go,
best
man.
Of
Go,
three.
VLT.
Of course, NAOS are yet to drop a map in this tournament, and now they finally may very well see it unless they can challenge back in towards overtime. Within the battle of rubble, with a couple of
All are
lesser
playing
weapons,
really
you
good,
take the
bhai.
knee for a
All.
reason, right? You wanna
Like,
play
not even a
towards the
single player is
overtime.
like.
Which is why they don't have too
Wait a
much
second,
to
wait,
fight
wait,
with
wait,
there.
wait.
But now is the time to see if they are going to be able to hold on, because Velocity have their mojo back on this attacking side.
They absolutely do, and Mojo is ever so important in a game like Valorant. Having that confidence to flex onto the opponents. And already Zan is caught. The Aftershock may have actually put him into the dirt just then, but it will
Yes,
not
yes,
for now.
yes.
Madeline, however, finds Xavi. That's the IGL gone down. Already an advantage found by Velocity.
क्या कर रही है
Taking
VLT
the
भाई
process with
VLT
Nara dying.
खत्म कर दिया
Also
मैच ही
Mojo.
VLT ने
Another shot from SK Rossi as well. A solo walk
क्या जी
from the chamber with the operator. Beautiful
Yes.
stuff now. He can start to creep through, lock them
VLT के
out.
तो
and
देखने
2
बनते हैं
versus
यार
5 is
सारे
just-
लाइव
should be the final
और होगी तो
round.
फिर भी हाईलाइट चल जाती
It's the
है
way to lurk. He's done it well again. Mitch, and now he's taken all of the space that's required to clear Waterfall fully. He's
अच्छा
done a really good job at slotting himself into these angles to catch now
Okay.
off guard. And now it's Stan and Nakia to see if they can win a 2 versus 5.
Dan certainly the man to
Nice.
potentially look to do it. SK Rossi slid on.
कोई दिक्कत नहीं कोई
Now it's
दिक्कत
going to be
नहीं
the
है
overdrive
2v4
popped as well. Maybe a chance. He does get the
Let's go.
information onto Lightning
Trade
Fast, but
off.
he's got to be careful that he doesn't overheat. And he absolutely does.
Let's go,
Straight
man.
into the crosshair of Damara. What a return to form there towards the last few rounds from Velocity.
in our map
And you
भाई
can just see these guys right now. Don't overheat. Don't overdo it. We've only won the one map. If we want to take this competition even further, we need to do the right thing and keep moving forward.
That's very nicely played out by Velocity, making some really smart decisions on thinking a lot on the macro and hitting the micro as well across the whole map. Don't get me wrong, a couple of slip-ups here and there, but really well played out, and I'm going to be the bad guy. I'm going to be the devil in this situation. A lot of the success that's come through from the guys over at NAOS so far has been Xavi, right? He's been sitting at the top time and time again. He's been leading, he's been shooting, he's been finding everything. Absent in this map, it feels like down on the bottom for the team this time. Very a little bit broken for now.
VLT ने अच्छा comeback करा भाई
Certainly unusual, Komodo. And with maps like Ascent around the bend, you hope that Xavi is going to be able to pick up and join the team. It was very much the Zan show there, wasn't it, Nakia? A couple of bright moments. PTC also able to do a couple of bits and pieces. But yeah, really, that was just Velocity who were playing very well as a unit. Great calling. Out of
Damara
us,
is
great
feeling,
control. SK Rossi hitting his shots as well. It was a very, very nice result.
I'm
Lightning
getting the
Fast
vibe,
was also
the
there to
positive
continue to
vibes
deny on that
कि
omen.
अब हो सकता है
So I
like
think we're
possible
seeing
है
a very, very good era
VLT
out
to
of the South Asian
win
team
the next
in
match too.
Velocity. But as
Next
I mentioned,
match too.
it's not done just yet. These teams have all right now made playoffs. These teams know that they're going to be having a chance on the big stage. But obviously there's plenty more work that they need to do.
Absolutely. Of course, Ascent is going to be around the corner. That is the map that is chosen by NAOS. Velocity going to be starting on the defensive side. Still Russ is going to have to look to call a good game for Velocity. It's a different look, more so on Ascent, right? The Breach is carrying on forward. The Chamber's carrying on forward. We've seen really good slot-ins in this map of Lotus, but it does play a lot differently compared to Ascent. So I'm excited to see what is going to happen. And also, it doesn't really guarantee here with this win, if Velocity get it, that they get the top seed. That's going to be the results of what happens in the Nongshim game. But Mitch, I'm excited to hear what the desk has to say from this one.
VLT is more aggressive, bhai.
Wow, I will never get bored of being
every
impressed
stat.
on how well Velocity is doing this synced executes, whether it's in defense or offense. The plays made across the board, the hype shown by them, it is always entertaining to see them defy doubts over and over again.
I mean, for everyone sleeping on Velocity, now is the time to wake up. People came into this tournament doubting them. So did their opponents. You know, we heard in the content shot with Ewok how almost every team ranked Velocity at the bottom of the group. And now they're very close to moving to the very top of it. An incredible Lotus from them. We saw Zan say how this game is going to be easy. They can shut down this VLT style, but they couldn't manage it at all. I feel like Velocity controlled the tempo once again, controlled the pace once again, and we didn't see the same level of strong macro that we've seen from NAOS in the past. They look rattled to me, Bella.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that statement, and this also marks the first time NAOS is going to drop a map in Ascension Pacific, and it's going to be Velocity that has done that. It's just amazing for this squad.
Ascent winnable.
Same like everybody else. I was very you know,
It's winnable.
I didn't believe in the breach that Russ is going to bring, but man, I was not familiar with his game. This guy is so good, and his breach, I mean, he helped a lot for Damara to
Damara
set
के लिए
Damara
अगले
up for this
patch
fight.
note में दिक्कत
I mean,
होगी
that's
भाई.
the pairing that we're seeing
ये तो
time
है.
and time again. There is other util being thrown in
The
by
Neon
Lightning
main.
Fast and Madeline, but it's mostly that 1-2 combo of Damara with Russ. Damara is able to go crazy because the supporting players around him are so good. He gets so many favorable fights, and then even on top of that, he's winning the fights he shouldn't win as well. He's going absolutely crazy. So much to be excited for with this Velocity team. We will have Ascent next. They're almost certainly going to bring that similar style. So now it's going to be able to shoot it down this next time around on their own map pick. That's the question.
Yes, the $1 question. But of course, before we go into the second map, we will go into a short break. So don't go anywhere. We will see you guys soon.
Winner, flexing like a winner. Winner, winner, winner. Winner. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Got it all. Got it all. Got it all. Got it all. I'm a winner. I'm a winner. Flexing like a winner. 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 Flexing like a winner. 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 What's on your mind?
मेरे ज्वाइन हो गए?
क्या हो गए?
यहाँ
नोट
पे
13
join-
से जीत गए भाई।
हाँ वो तो देख लिया मैंने यार, तो वो पार्सल वाला आया था उसमें टाइम लग गया थोड़ा सा।
कोई लोड नहीं। VLT ने पूरा ही मैच कंट्रोल कर लिया भाई उसके बाद तो।
देखा मैंने भी। क्या स्कोर से जीते? 12-9 से
39।
39 से आई मीन। क्लोज मैच नहीं गया मतलब है। लॉर्ड साहब नहीं आ रहे?
लॉर्ड साहब आए थे, कह रहे हैं अभी वो कॉल पे है मन्नी और उसके साथ जितार के साथ।
अच्छा प्लेइंग वेलोरेंट आ रहा है ना उसका। हेलो खेल लो सब।
लॉर्ड साहब की ज़्यादा माइनस हो गई थी ना कल। लॉर्ड साहब रिकवर कर रहे हैं।
क्या लगता है 2-0 कर देगी ये?
लग तो रहा है, एसेंट मैप पे पहले जीत चुके हैं तो लाइक पॉसिबल है।
फीलिंग तो आ रही 2-0 वाली।
क्योंकि कॉम्बो भी हैं, VLT के बहुत प्यारे प्यारे कॉम्बोज हैं। जैसे अभी हमें सबसे ज़्यादा दिक्कत क्या हुई थी लोटस मैप पे, जो फीड का रिवील था ए पे, वो सबसे ज़्यादा दिक्कत कर रहा था। ऐसी ए साइड पे एसेंट मैप पे VLT के पास कॉम्बोज बहुत प्यारे प्यारे हैं, ब्रीच नियॉन और उसके वगैरह इन सब के। सो
Alrighty, we are going to ascend with NAOS versus Velocity. Like we've mentioned before, NAOS, they are very strong in their individuals. They are very strong in taking duels. But again, Velocity, I feel like they have these small details that make them able to win these rounds.
Yeah, this is the experience they have. 3 of their players have played in Tier 1, and to me, it really shows, like you say, in those little things. Think about that 2v1 where Lightning Fast jumps round the corner to make space for Rossi to get that kill. That's a tiny thing, a tiny, tiny thing, but you don't see a lot of players do that. It's easy to get caught up in the moments. They're getting so many things right that the top level teams are getting right, and that's why they're able to close out these maps. And I feel like the combination of that experience and well-drilled ability of this team
तुम रात में उसके बाद खेले थे?
explosive style that
तेरे
they're
जाने के
able to
बाद?
bring out is really
हाँ,
what's setting
हाँ।
them apart this tournament. And
तो
they've
stream
just
क्यों
been
नहीं करी
so
तुमने?
fun to watch. Like I
नहीं
think
करी
they're
थी
bringing
मैंने।
something that is totally
नहीं
unique.
स्ट्रीम
They
बंद हो
don't
गई थी
care
मेरे
what
जाने
other
के बाद
people are
एक
doing,
तुम्हारी।
and they're saying,
तो फिर
hey,
नहीं
this is
खिलाऊंगा।
who we are, and
मतलब
we
मैंने
do this better than
स्ट्रीम
anybody.
के बिना नहीं खेला।
Yep. And speaking about fun,
मतलब हम
it's
4 मैच
a
जीते थे ना, हम
really
4 मैच
interesting
तेरे
thing to
साथ तू
see,
था उसमें था
right?
नहीं
Like
या ये
because I
याद नहीं है,
come
बट हम
from
4 मैच बैक
Indonesia,
टू बैक जीते थे, फिर मैंने
I
बंद कर
have
दिया।
seen Damara play before in sorry, in Indonesian
जहाँ पे मैंने
challengers
कल स्टार्ट
even
किया
like
था
2
वहीं पे मैंने
years
एंड किया था।
ago. He was this junior,
Yeah.
he never like, being hyped about anything, like he's just silent. But
लास्ट
today
मैच हमने वो
and
खेला है
for
20।
this whole
हाँ वही खेला
Ascension
था शायद,
Pacific,
उसके बाद नहीं
he's
खेला।
been very hyped about everything and he's like
Yeah.
having fun in that stage.
मेरे को सुबह जल्दी भी उठना था 2 बजे
You
के
can
आसपास,
see
तो
the
फिर मैं सोचा
confidence
जल्दी
of
सो जाता हूँ।
Damara after every round.
मैंने
He's
edit
standing
वगैरह
up
भी नहीं करा अभी
telling
तक,
his
मैंने वीडियो भी
opponents
edit
to
नहीं
take
किया।
a seat. He knows he could be the best player in this entire tournament, and like you say, it's so obvious how he's grown through his time with Velocity now, and I think it's coming to a peak. I think winning
यार
tournaments
बहुत सही
like
चल
this
रहा है
is
देख।
all about finding the
वैलोरेंट में
peak at the
VLT
perfect time.
ऑलमोस्ट
And I think
लाइक
you could definitely make the
इस स्टेज पे
argument
तो
here that
डोमिनेट कर रही है।
Velocity look like they might
और
have found it.
मतलब लाइक वुडन
Absolutely.
टच वुड है
Damara
कि
is
लाइक
one
अगर
of the
ये
diamonds in
VCT
the
भी क्वालिफाई
making,
कर
I
जाए तो।
feel, from
Yeah.
Indonesia. But
हाँ।
again, we
और
also
रही
need
बात
to
BGMI
discuss
वगैरह
about
की,
Naos, right?
BGMI में
Because
ऑलरेडी
earlier Lotus, it was
OG
one of
क्वालिफाई
the
कर चुकी है
strongest
PMGC के
maps
लिए।
from Velocity.
2 टीम के
So
पास और चांस है क्वालिफाई
yeah,
करने
they
का
were bound to
इंटरनेशनल
win that map, but
लाइक
we are
ग्लोबल।
going to ascend.
सो
We know how
इंडियन ई स्पोर्ट्स के
strong
लिए काफी
Naos
काफी
is in
लाइक
ascent, especially
सेक्सी चल
with
रहा है अभी
Salvi
सीन ना।
in that battle stage.
in every
Yeah,
sports.
I don't think Naus will be feeling too worried. Ascent is their
इससे
map
पहले
pick,
chess
and I
तो
think
बढ़िया
if
चल ही
they
रहा है
play
इंडिया
that
का.
composition that we've seen from them in the past with the
Chess में तो
Vice and
dominate
the
कर रहे
Sage,
हैं.
they will be much better equipped to deal with the
Chess में हो गया या
Neon Breach
Call of Duty
combination
mobile
that
में हो गया.
Velocity are able to
Call of
put
Duty
forward.
mobile
Because
भी.
when you're running this
Call of
double
Duty mobile
duelist,
में तो
you
God
don't
like बहुत
have
तगड़े तरीके
as
से
much
जीतती है भाई इतने
unstopping
टाइम से.
power, utility, and your
Next
off
level
on
domination.
Yoru is just going to be a little bit less effective.
फ्री
because
फायर
they
मैंने
have
देखता नहीं हूँ. फ्री
tools.
फायर
But now
क्या
you
चलता
think
है क्या नहीं
about being
चलता,
able
बट
to
इतना मेरे को
defend,
पता है इंडियन
and that
टीम्स में
Vice
बहुत
Wall
है
is going to isolate Damara as he moves into the site. And the
Global
same
level
can be
पे.
said for the Sage slow. So I think Damara might have to do a lot more individually. He's going to have to win some big crucial duels. But more importantly, I want to see
एक दो
Yeah,
स्पोर्ट्स
it's
हैं जहाँ पे
back
बिल्कुल
into
ही
that form, get back into
इंडियन
that
टीम है
strong
ही नहीं,
macro,
जैसे
and
Dota 2
understand
टाइप
what your opponents
या
are bringing. They were so
अच्छा.
confident that they
ये
could
COC
stop it,
टाइप.
so you have to do it now.
यूसी में भी नहीं है.
Yes, because we were talking
COC
about
में मैंने
macro
कभी सुना
as
नहीं
well,
इतना.
like before this
Dota
match,
2
like
टाइप.
in the pre-match,
ऐसे गेम में
Russ
हमारा
सेम
um,
कॉम्स
he's
भाई. मैडली
able
चेंज किया
to-
बस अपना
he's
फेड से
able
सोवा
to
पे आया.
adapt fast. He's
हाँ.
able to read their
एशियन तो
opponents.
सोवा
And
भाई
yeah,
इंसेन है भाई.
there are of course no changes for now here in Ascend because they have been
उनमें डबल
looking
सेंटी है
promising so far in this map.
अपने में.
Yeah, very much so. Sitting at 2-0 here. On the side of Velocity, also no changes. This is virtually the same as what we saw in Lotus, just with Sova in instead of the Fade. Now, I will say, this kind of composition is certainly much more unorthodox on Ascent than it is on something
Comms तो
like
बहुत sexy है भाई.
Lotus. So, look for Naus to be able to exploit the weaknesses a little bit more easily here.
जिस
I think
जिस
Naus
पॉइंट पे
still
मेरे
gonna
को
be
चेंबर
feeling
थोड़ा सा
good,
वीक
but
लगता है
Velocity
वो
brimming with
एस्केरोसी
confidence.
क्रेजी कर ही रहा है.
Yes, absolutely. This is going to be
If you don't miss the
interesting
अब
once
तुम
again.
मिस ही नहीं
In
करोगे तो भाई फिर तो
Ascend
भाई चेंबर से
between
बेस्ट एजेंट है ही नहीं कोई.
Velocity and NAOS. This is their map pick for now. So let's see.
तुम पे वाइस
if
किल्ट
they
काम नहीं
are
करेगी, तुम पे
able
कुछ काम
to
नहीं
adapt,
करेगा.
if they
क्या
are
चीज़ इनकी
able
मार.
to read what Velocity is going to bring. Of course, the actions are with your casters here, Komodo and Kong.
Well, Morgan, confidence
अपना
is
defense
a
ना
scary,
पहले?
scary thing. You should have
देखा नहीं
seen
मैंने.
how up and about I was
हाँ,
when I
defense है
outfragged
अपना.
Komodo in the playtest 1 year. It's a scary, scary thing, and Velocity are running with that right now. Komodo can now spring this one back.
Maybe, but I'll have you know that one day I'll put you on my settings and watch you fumble. But fumbling is what these teams are not going to do here on this one. Ascent is the play. It's the same compositions that these two teams
करके
have.
बीचेंगे.
Velocity, their own style. Now can pull some strats and stuff from Paper X and from Fnatic who
Three
run
stack,
this composition as well. And this could
VLT
be the
A
time for
control
Velocity
नहीं
to
लेने
win this
देती, मेरे को
series
सबसे बढ़िया बात
2-0
लगती है
cleanly.
ये.
To take that
एसेंट पे
challenge in towards who is going to
देती ही नहीं है.
First
बी कंट्रोल
seed.
फिर भी दे देती है.
For now, though, if they are able to enter back, send us to Haven, try to win the series and get that top seed into the playoffs. No casualties for the early stages. Just a little bit of damage towards SK Rossi.
Certainly would be a statement, Komodo. Velocity going 3-0 and then with the game up
Nice,
against Nongshim,
nice
which is
entry
gonna
भाई.
throw some question marks about where some of these
Sage
players
आ
end up
चुकी है.
in the
हाँ, हाँ.
competition. Zavi is going to be the nice one to find the opening. We've talked
Nah,
about
nice,
this battle
nice,
stage
nice,
and how
nice.
well it can do, but we've also talked a
हो
lot
हो
about
सकता है हो
Russ.
सकता है.
Finds
बहुत
Zavi,
प्यारा.
finds Zan,
अरे
also
डमारा है
up
क्या.
there.
weapon
Very
है.
nicely done. Zavi
डमारा है
denied and Damara to
क्या.
get 2 to close. Velocity are on the
और
board with
उसने
the
जो दो
pistol.
निकाले ना.
Could have got a little bit risky for them at the end there in the 1 versus
That's
2 though, because the Thorns were activated on top of
Ah,
the
that's true,
rafters,
yeah.
and it is just the swing out from Damara. Could have got risky, but he still,
Reveal
even
me.
in the Thorns, looks to get the swing on out. You got a couple of kills that get started off by now as well, but then it just falls a little bit as well. Velocity
अरे अरे अरे.
quickly in for the challenge, giving no
दोबारा भाई.
respect over towards
यार
NAOS,
सोच यार,
and that's gonna be one of
वैलो
the
में
things as well, right?
VLT का बंडल आ गया
Got
तो.
caught off a little bit by this one.
आएगा भाई,
Sense
आएगा,
got caught
बिल्कुल
off a
आएगा.
little
अब
bit
तक
by
सबसे
this
महंगा
one. They
बंडल
were
कौन सा
slowing
बिका है?
things down.
सेंस का बिका है.
कौन सा?
Velocity keep up
सैन
the
का ही
pace.
बिका हुआ.
हाँ.
Could actually be a
सोच अगर VLT का बंडल आ गया तो क्या लगता है इंडियन लोग पागल होके क्या कर सकते हैं? कर सकते हैं.
देंगे भाई. Of course.
नेक्स्ट लेवल कर देंगे भाई.
उसमें से एक तो मैं ही होऊंगा.
Gives him some safe passage for now.
VLT का बंडल तो आई थिंक मैं भी ले
Catch,
लूंगा.
so he's going to
I
fight
would
2
say.
very, very quickly here with that
वरना मैं
outlaw.
बंडल
Nicely
ऐसे कोई
done.
खरीदता नहीं जल्दी.
Move back in with the
बट
classic,
VLT का बंडल
however,
तो प्रोबेबली ले लूंगा.
still that sheriff
VLT और
from Zen.
RNTX दोनों का अगर बंडल आता तो मैं ले लूंगा.
अरे अरे.
You see Damara just straight all up in the grill. What can you even do there, can you?
उसके मुंह पे जम मारी भाई
Straight
डमाने
into
ने.
it. Velocity with 2, nice and clean, only losing the
जब ये
1
चैलेंजर्स खेल रहे थे ना तब मेरे को ऐसा लगता था कि VLT की जगह पे RNTX क्वालिफाई कर जाएगी Ascension के लिए. बट RNTX ने क्या थ्रो किया है ना.
Good little stronghold, good reveal and tag as well, right? Just some good scanning on through.
उस टाइम पे मैं RNTX को सपोर्ट करता था.
But I can't help
अच्छा,
but wonder.
VLT की comparison
When we
में.
start to get into the proper rifle rounds, can Velocity continue it, Mitch? Because we've so
But
far seen a
RNTX
good
ने
stacking
मेरी
towards A and the
उम्मीदों पे
stacking
ऐसे like
towards
वो
B.
कर
It was
दिया.
the right
समझ
spots
रहे हो?
2 times over.
पानी फेंक दिया.
What happens to
हाँ,
Velocity when
पानी कह रहे हो या
things
कुछ और
change
कह लो.
up around the map?
तो पानी बोलेंगे. 3 जने रिवील हो गए.
Great opening.
मिड टॉप पे.
Damara may be getting a
लेगा
little
वो
bit too
pick लेगा.
complacent there, a little bit overzealous. I mean, though,
नहीं लेगा
at the
मेरे
end of the
हिसाब
day,
से.
the bonus, you've always got to play a little bit more risky. And lightning fast. Oh, you might be able to catch a couple of members off guard here. Moja definitely watching that top mid position. And now as
Yeah,
we
they're
see
aware.
Russ joining him,
Bomba
it's going
बहुत
to be
ज़्यादा.
an awkward line. Great
अंदर
opening.
में
Lightning fast.
दो
Nicely
निकाल लिए
done.
भाई ने.
Zan does get a couple back, meaning that we can still see this lead held for now.
एक खाली पड़ा है.
Yeah, that's a very important
Two
frag
v
that
three है.
actually happens from
2-4-2
Zan
कर
there.
दिया ना उसने
The
वहाँ
fact that
पे.
he gets both of them
हाँ.
as well. Keeps it workable for now. And this one, that would have been a good shot from SK Rossi to
Madeline
potentially
भाई.
claim the bonus, but now just Madeline.
By 3v1
The
कर देंगे.
footsteps.
Your time to shine, my friends.
ये
Looking
one tap.
good in this series.
Nice.
Had Zan. Maybe there's a world.
नहीं,
Maybe
नहीं.
there's a way. They're separated. Now he's split the wicket. He's found the
Oh.
shot. Madeline! Oh, I saw it coming. I was willing it into existence, but it does not.
ए भाई
deny.
कनेक्ट हो जाता है
And all
कहाँ
Mouse
से.
could do is laugh it off.
Man, that gets super close.
यार ये
though,
ओमन जो
doesn't
दो
it?
निकाले ना
He's
यार ये.
isolated the right timing for that 1 versus
भाई,
3 because you know what
दूसरा
we
shot
always
क्या
say,
था?
Conky? You don't win the 1 versus 3, you lose the 3 versus 1. And Nakia just luckily gets
No,
that
no, no,
last
man.
one, but I
Not
gotta say
bad.
that is some
Not
really good damage that gets delivered in that round from Velocity. It tickles the
Madeline भाई खड़े
shields
नहीं
of
होते हैं
the
तुम्हें
guns
बताते
of
होता हूँ.
Mouse. Look how many Guardians they're coming into this next round with.
उसके बदले का डमारा हो जाता है.
Certainly not the happiest of helpings. The financial
अरे
pool is
अरे
down.
क्या एंगल है भाई ये.
ये एंगल क्रेजी है भाई.
Investing
मैंने
all the
पहली बार
way.
देखा ये एंगल.
So just having a little bit of a look
नहीं
Try
down.
करना.
इस
try
पे
करना
वो
भाई.
खेलता है ना.
From
बूस्टर
mid-top.
खेलता है वाला एंगल.
Creeping their way in towards short now. Nakia going to be trying to
Whoa.
play a helping hand. Rossi, head ripped off immediately. Very bold to be crossing that position so late into the rounds. Especially dry outside market. So now we're going to see now slot their way in towards top mid.
Now the thing is for SK Rossi though, if he's going to keep on putting a premium on getting these snipers and such, he needs to be holding the lines to a tight degree. He needs to make sure that he's not getting caught off guard like that.
पैन में बहुत इफेक्टिव हुआ.
No distractions.
मर गया बेचारा.
Lightning fast now, caught out, but not before he takes down Zan in the process. Oh, Damara watches the line, makes it tricky, but that's a great catch with the double up. However, it's not going to matter when Nakia is found
Yes
3.
भाई.
And now this rotation coming in from PTC, surely going to be able to
बढ़िया.
find Rusty. He does shoulder it very wise,
Possible है
very
भाई.
intelligent.
क्या पीक था वो?
So certainly a winnable
Sexy pick
prospect
था भाई.
here for the side of Velocity.
Slide
One away
कर दिया
from
भाई
that
इसको.
Rolling Thunder, Komodo.
One enemy
The line.
remaining.
Great shot from Zavi, so denied. It's not going to be happening
यहाँ
today.
से wall bang मार दे नीचे
Nor
भाई.
is the ace that's going to be coming through for Nakia. It's just all onto Madeline, who almost nearly did win that 1v3 prior. Makes a good effort of it. Jumping
Oh,
around the
anti-
bend. Doesn't quite see Moja in time, however.
Anti-
Now straight back in with 2. And a little bit of a denial on any sort of resurgence here, as I think we're going to have to see a weaker purchase to come
ये
out.
शॉट भाई चेंबर पे जो था.
I mean, some really good shots that does come through from Nakia in that round, but I'm kind of seeing him go for the plant as well when the ultimate is already there. When you're 2 away from the resurrection, you know, if we're wanting to maximize some things, drop that spike on over to your Sage, get closer, because you got 1 kill, would have had the res coming into this next round, so we'll see if there's going to be anything that plays a little bit of disfavor in that regard. Lots of light shields coming on through as well. Open up the accounts for some potential cheeky shots from SK Rossi or the Bucky and Damara too.
My bottom broke.
Gate crash denied for Moja inside mid. So nothing really happening at this point in time. Just a slow rotation back around. Velocity immovable at this point.
Yeah, well, not getting too close with that judge at the right spot though, with the movement from NAOS over towards the B site. Got a forward line being held, of course, in mid, but it is SK Rossi just playing to see what damage
कोई
he can get
space ही
before
नहीं बना
getting out of
पाए
dodge and one day
देखो.
moving to market. Now's the time that we start to see some movement though from the guys over at B. Adeline confirming some information.
It's going to be an awkward line to try and fight here. He does shoulder out Moja, and I think he's pulled a lot of info, but SK Rossi taken down by Zan. Now that Rolling Thunder coming
गलत तो
through as
Madeline के
well,
साथ
making
हुआ
it
भी.
very, very awkward, but it's not really going to
बंदे को उछाल के reveal हो गया वो बंदा, उछल के.
Basically straight on out. Moja's done it all by himself, completely solo for this point in time, but Damara Makes his work
30 seconds
cut out
left.
for
वो
him.
कवर में
That
से
has
लेकर
been
रिवील
traded
ना
back,
होगा
however, in
वो
good
ब्रिज
time.
करता है वो
Lightning
छल कर रिवील हो
fast.
गया वो
I think this might be a little bit of
फिर wall bang हो गया.
uphill battle from here with just the judge.
Yeah, Ross getting out that rolling thunder as well. Catching Madeline, who then gets scanned by Nakia. So just peppered through the wall. Feels a little bit awkward and, you know, setting up your team for failure a little bit in that moment. SK Rossi once again also just not able to get a shot out before having his head removed. So we're getting a little bit of this awkwardness from Velocity, but again, still really early stages. That was a lesser buy as well, so shrug it off. Full focus
भाई
into
क्या
towards the
shots
next
मार रहा है
round.
ये.
Turn it on the other side
Oh,
for
man.
now. Very well executed, despite all that utility coming on through.
Yeah, I think it might have just been a slightly off call,
इसका
right?
crosshair देख भाई
Throwing it
कितना
from the
weird
back
है
of
भाई.
sight. Catching Madeline, as you mentioned. So you never really know what's happening there. Russ's
Oi.
utility has been mostly good, but right then, it certainly favored Naos.
Double peak, let's go.
Oh, the big weapons
ये तो
are
copy
back
कर रहे हैं हमारी
in possession
strategy.
for Velocity.
हमारी
A
strategy
bit of a
copy कर रहे
premium
हैं.
once more for this mid control. Seeing a lot of
Yeah,
teams so far, but it comes to Ascent going
भाई
for it.
ओमन
SK Rossi
रोसी को तो खत्म
again
कर दिया
not
इन्होंने
able to
3
get
राउंड
a
से.
shot off before being taken down.
Yeah, he's absent right now, isn't he? Absent without leave as well. You've got to be putting up that impact as the chamber, you know, when you opt to take that as the sentinel.
मिल गई शायद नियॉन की लोकेशन
हाँ
मिल गई.
नियॉन दिख गया हाँ.
Great shot from Zan. That's a second. Typically, the Omen not known for their operator skills, but it's working out for him so far. 3 versus 5.
Yeah, these are the scenarios that you don't want to drop as Naos as well, right? You want to leave no stone unturned, clear everything that you possibly can. Two individual
Yeah, we
moments
saw
for
a bit of
Velocity without
Aiming kill
trades.
करने के लिए.
Moments of lapse.
But
Can't be
still.
seeing it. Now, again, another individual
Char
play
one
from
dead.
Lightning Fast around the bend.
Oh. If he pops the paranoia at the
अरे
right
दो
time,
ले
I don't
जाता है
think he's
Lightning,
gonna be
somehow.
afforded at all. Gonna get that utility out. He may actually get the catch onto one. Okay, here we go. Maybe there's a chance, but he makes the right choice. He pulls out the resurrection here for
No,
Nakia.
yeah.
PTC comes
Big
back as well
idea,
with
bhai.
another, and Russ unfortunately goes
Or
down, so it
rotate
would have to be
करके
all Lightning Fast. And they walk out at the most opportune time. Perfect synergy through that dark cover.
भाई
And
एक
all
साथ
of them
तीन
go
बन
down.
टूट गए भाई.
No, they say. This is certainly now us back into the fray.
थर्ड मैप
Yeah,
पे
no
न
need
चले
to
जाए भाई.
shift the spike over towards Dan and TP to the B site, for example. When PTC does get one in there, you've got a 4 versus 1 essentially on this A site. Just take it together.
Weird crosshair है भाई इसको
Have
थोड़ा
that
सा.
ult info for a little bit later on. Quite convincing of the round to come through from Naos there, and you know we're seeing the same sort of things.
भाई सब उठ
playing
गए भाई.
Velocity at the moment. I'm wondering
कुछ
if
और
the
क्या?
timeout
ऐसा लग रहा था
is
fish market
in
है.
order to have the discussions, get the coach input, get the team to settle, and really recognize what's going wrong.
Damara clearly getting a little bit of his own medicine right now.
रोसी को थोड़ी गाइडेंस की जरूरत है और
And I
सब तो
think
ठीक
it's
है.
the perfect time for Godspeed to
3-4
give the
राउंड
guys
से
a
बैक
bit
टू
of a
बैक
pep
कैसे मर
talk.
रहा है भाई वो फर्स्ट ब्लड.
But also the exact same thing can be said for Naos, right? They're certainly a team that thrives off the vibes, but you can't get too out of control, too out of order.
Definitely so. At least the safety net and finding the first map, but you got to feel like the way that they were sort of closing a lot of those rounds should give them still really good ideas coming in towards this map, and it's not like they haven't played this map throughout this tournament, right? Velocity did play this one against Full Sense. It did get very close though in the 13-11, and that was also the map, right? That they started off 0-6 down on their attacking side.
I was going to say, we haven't had many of these. It's run pretty damn smoothly so far. Looks like it may very well have just been some sort of equipment issue anyway, so it shouldn't be too far before we get back into it.
Oh, spilt
Tech
the
pause हो
drink.
गया.
That's like when you've had
Tech
no
pause नहीं,
tech
VLT का time
issues
out
and
है.
you're, you know, only into the
अच्छा.
second map.
मेरे tech
You're not
pause
seeing
लिखा
your
हुआ
mouse
है.
go flat, perhaps.
Tech pause
Perhaps
होगा.
Hoot's done something, but it's okay.
नहीं,
we're
नहीं,
good.
tech
We're-
pause
we're
नहीं है.
away.
Negative aura. It's fine. We're back.
बस
Immediately.
भाई नहीं यार.
I don't think any of the 10 players in this server have negative aura.
You're probably spot on.
Yeah.
Just the casters.
Yeah, but we're so far out of the playing field that it's like... Yeah. Anyways, just the judge for Lightning Fast here. See if he's going to be able to do anything with that, or if the pistols can somehow be decisive enough to deal a blow.
I'm much happy कि रोसी पीछे से खेल रहा है अब.
Opportunity for the overdrive.
से आगे
Hunter's
खेल रहा था,
Fury
पता
if you
चल गया
need,
उसको.
but it is the passive nature from NAOS that starts to clear.
थोड़ी वाइब मैच
So
होती है कोच और
corners.
मेरी. कोच ने सही गाइडेंस दिया भाई, सेम वाली.
Very, very slow and methodical, isn't it, Naos?
सोच अब भी उसको ऑफ पड़ गई जिस एंगल पे वो बैठा है. उसने वाइड पीक लिया एंड यूरो ने एंड ऑफ मार दी. तो भाई साहब मराल तो यूं जाएगा ऐसे. ना यार मेडलिन.
बी मेन का.
Opening shot there from PTC with his fabled lurk. Now as they start to move their way in, fake out hit.
Okay.
And a couple of warning shots as well, but only 2 left in the chamber here, unfortunately, which means they're
बी
actually
में
gonna start
जाएंगे,
to
बी
pull
में
away here
स्पेस
now.
बना
So
रखा है
now the
उसने.
focus set on
बी
towards
जाएंगे
B.
वो मेरे हिसाब से तो.
It's a bit of a different look as well, and where they're placing this shear over towards A2, right? Generally, you want
उनको
to
rotation देखो
bring
पर.
that into the B main control and catch velocity off guard. A lot who focus on the mid flank.
Nice.
B main stuck on this eco now though. Quick on in.
वो भाई.
Get awkward, Komodo. 15 seconds. Yeah, exactly right. Russ has already found one
दो
of
boat
the
house
Now
है.
they have to get moving very, very quickly.
Let's
Russ
go.
could keep going. Russ could do damage. He could be the hero that
Time
ends
खेलना
this right now,
पड़ेगा
Komodo.
Let's
He's still
go.
alive, still kicking.
Nice
Lightning fast
one.
joining the frame.
टाइम ही नहीं अब तो.
But how
Let's
much longer is it going to
go.
be, my word?
भाई बोट
How
हाउस
does that
जो
even
निकाला है
happen?
तो.
Lightning fast and Russ
रस
with the
भाई
boat
रस.
shed.
आई
They are
जब आईजीएल
salesmen.
अपने हाथ में लेता है ना
Beautiful
चीजें तो आईजीएल ही लेता है भाई फिर.
Sailing off
समझ
into
रहे
the
हो.
abyss in that one as well, aren't they? Thrifty to come on through in a shaky round that comes on out. What, 5 versus 3 for a mere
मतलब इतने
moment
crispy
in
headshot
time
नहीं थे,
that
but-
NAOS did have, but lightning fast
Not bad.
is from the shadows, I believe, to get on over
दोनों
the
ने
back of
पांचों
the
को मार
site,
दिया
right?
भाई.
And just
Yeah.
kind of parks it a little bit, waits silently, lets Russ dance around and do what he can with the breach util, be the distractor.
ब्रीच क्रेजी एजेंडा भाई. डिफेंस के टाइम पे डिफेंसिव है, अटैक के टाइम पे अटैक है.
You know, shenanigans afoot with the Thrifty, and it bloody well happens.
Very, very clean, Komodo.
अल्ट है.
Unlike
अल्ट
PTC
है.
against
that
these
is
three
Whoa.
things, but that's an
Alt
awesome
है.
ultimate. The Hungry
वो
Fury
tag हुआ
denying
है.
both Moja and Nakia combined.
दो ले
And that
गया
all of a
भाई.
sudden could allow Velocity to get back
Initiator
in
to
towards
duelist.
this series now. The
दो
Dark Cover
सेंटी
to
बचे
allow
हैं.
some safe
एक
passage
कंट्रोलर.
towards
क्या
line, but will they
एंट्री
be
होगी
drinking?
इनसे.
We'll have to see shortly.
And there's no resurrection as
flawless
well,
निकलना
right?
चाहिए भाई.
That's just been previously utilized, so damage solidified. Bodies down.
Oh man, SK Rossi's got such a tough task here. They do manage to find their way out.
Rossi
The
aura
barrier
minus
wall
हो रहे हैं.
will be destroyed, which means that
Aura
Xavi
point
now
lose
just
कर
needs
रहा
to get the slow orb up. Buy themselves some additional time. That spike is going to be planted, so still
it
with
doesn't
इतना
matter.
सारा वो लूज कर भी सकते हैं साइड से.
अरे सही बात है. काफी गेन कर लिया उसने. ओवरफ्लो कर रहा है वो.
Stuff so far, the double up in heaven, but Madeline might be
Nah,
able to get
man.
a rude awakening onto Zan.
Nah,
No,
भाई,
what am I
ये तो
kidding?
नहीं आ सकते.
Zan
Come on,
continues
bro.
to hit these shots, and
भाई,
even
ये
when he's
Omen-
slowed down by the fault line, he's able to get a second in the round here. This was a 3 versus 5 here, Komodo,
No.
and now Damara being denied. It's all on the lightning fast. He got 3 in the previous round, but he would need to repeat that again this time. They're so split up, so separated. And now Zan even caught in the helping hands. He gives him a little cuddle inside the garden. And that is beautiful denial from NAOS. There was no way they should have been winning that round any day of the week.
No, not at all. 3 versus 5. You take the space up towards the rafters, and you do it together as a team. Within the utility, you're just surviving
Kristen
on
just
through it,
दूसरा
right?
निकाला ना
Stun-
bridge को.
Stun's a cosmetic. I haven't said that in this
वही
tournament
match है
just yet. It's something that's over in Pacific happens time and time again. We go from the Thrifty of Velocity into just the upside down round of that 3v5 that is called nicely for NAOS.
Oh man, you can really start to see Velocity shake now. NAOS, you know, aren't playing absolute 10 out of 10 Valorant right now, but they're certainly getting away with some interesting positions. Rossi out once again, unable to find that opening
Shotgun.
pick here, but now
Amara bhai,
Damara
come
are
on.
very, very close. I think PTC could be in for a rude awakening here. He peeks at the right time. The Arcros does spot the information though, so they know somebody's in here. They know someone's up close.
दो जने
Still
हैं.
has the fast lane, still has the relay bolt, but who's going to creep on towards them? And now the dimensional drift is popped as well, Komodo. They're going to be making their way in all together. There is dimensional
एक को भी ले जाते हैं, बड़ी बात है.
from Madeline. They have to pull away.
Yeah, there was no drone for Nakia to send in there first. You got the wall up right
Oh.
there. Oh, that shot comes through. How does that happen?
A little uncomfortable now, but at least Zabi from the top of the wall does find another, and
Bhai,
Russ
kya
going down
खेल रहा है
too.
bro?
So Lightning Fast
Nice.
does get to play this round
Mars के
at
बोल
the
दो
very
quickly.
least. So 45 points of HP, spike now planted. Very, very doable here still. Zabi
1v2.
2 away from the resurrection, so he's not going to have it in this round. Lightning Fast Slowly creeps his way in to try and connect here. Savvy, he would have to find him straight off the rip, but the good
Location
damage
भी गई.
is dealt. And now with the heal as well, I think Lightning Fast isn't
कर
overly
रहा है.
interested.
Good
He's
call.
making the
ठीक
right
है.
decision here by pulling away. That's 6 for NAOS on the board right now on the attacking side of Ascent here, Komodo.
Yeah, I'm looking at what's happening in B main as well there, right? You kind of got everything that
3v5
you want. No
हार के
drone
ना
that
वो
you can
भाई
get sent in for your opponent,
वो भाई
opponent's
Overall
side
खेल जाता है.
to clear you. I was kind of waiting for the petty to drop for Damara to stun on in and slide with the Bucky, right? Or get set up with a dart from Madeline. We saw the shock dart come on in, but we saw nothing on the back of it. Like, if you want to actually maximize the chances in that sort of scenario, you saw the Arcros. You know that PTC is there. Even if you're just using that utility to get that one kill, pilfer a better weapon, he should be ripping it in that sort of position.
मेरे को रॉसी के वो देखने हैं.
NAOS to get close to the site to set up
Stats.
properly, they are going to walk over you. We saw it previously in the 2 series that they've played on this map. They are very clinical when it comes into their executions onto the
5-man
site
impulse.
if you allow them to do so.
A very momentum-driven team as well.
कोई और था ही नहीं
Vibes
तो ऐसे कर
Merchants,
पाया.
as mentioned. That's why they've got such a backing here.
Nice
Now
and
Damara, great shot there opening onto Moja. Zan will reposition accordingly, and I don't think they're actually ready
Hello,
for this
Omen.
as well. Up towards the generator here, the 2 members now
Nice,
stuck inside A main.
ओमेन की
Makes
पोजीशन
it so
पोजीशन
uncomfortable
भाई,
for
वही मैं
them.
देख रहा हूँ.
Damara just having a little bit of a spot forward.
Under है
Actually
वो,
up and over on the wall, but he's denied the rest of the
A.
team. I don't think that was actually meant to go this way unless it was.
पता है
Try
उन्हें
and
पता है
pick
अवेयर है
up
वो.
the additional orb
Nice.
here.
बढ़िया,
One
बढ़िया.
more kill
Nice.
potentially
Nice.
for Zabby, and he might be able to get the resurrection, but it's denied completely. PTC has to try and do a
Oh,
solo.
भाई.
Rotation
एक
is here.
second
They would
के लिए
absolutely have to fumble this one.
वो है,
Velocity
धक-धक
already
हो
coming
रहा था
deep
भाई.
in on the flank is going
Oh,
to
उनकी
be
position देख
SK
के.
Rossi. So PTC is going to have...
They can just sit. They can just sit. They don't need to hunt. They gotta be careful of their own money too.
SK Rossi has to hit this shot. And he will. PTC not looking in the right direction. SK Rossi back on towards the board.
Nice, nice.
And it is
Nice.
a late resurgence into the half here for Velocity.
Really well started as well. Dodged
वो
off the
पैर
paranoia,
dodge होगी ना वो.
and you're just holding control of the mains choke. You kind of forget that Zan has TP'd in amongst the scrap as well, right? Because he's not revealed himself. You do have a sinking feeling that it could have been a fake, but Zan just didn't activate when he lands from the shadows. He was playing more passive, hoping that someone would come out of main, that he could catch the freebie. Very good realization from Velocity that they can still be very focused in towards the kind of element that they need to in main, right? That wall, I'll be real, is a little bit troll. You isolated yourself into the 1vx fight there over on NAOS's side.
I think he was trying to get the orb, right? Like, surely there's
But
no other way.
he was 2 off though. He
Yeah.
was 2 off the orb res. So even if he gets that, he'd need a kill or go to the other side of the map where you've not got the proper lurk in this time from PTC. So yeah, just a
Right
couple of
idea,
mistakes in
wrong
that round.
execution, I think. Yeah.
time out though. Have a good discussion to see what you need to do for the remaining 2 in this half. You got the weaponry as well back in possession of Velocity because they were backwards and forwards a little bit between buys. You can just see the lion's share rounds for NAOS there. Quite contained was just the one in the middle for Velocity. So this is the time to try and equalize us up on the 6-6 or to be a little bit more demanding from NAOS to close on the 8-4. We're going to have a couple of different battles across the extremities around the map. The A main control, getting your chamber on the line with that operator at B. That's a team flash that you don't really want to see from Mocha. Self flash, rather.
A little bit of scraps, Komodo. That's why we love it. They've already burnt down a hell of a lot of the round. SK Rossi. Oh no,
Bro.
you've got to hit those, my friend. That allows PTC to continue to live on here. There is still 3 members over towards the side of B as we now see Velocity make their way through. Damara and Lightning Fast. It is only going to be one and done though, as Damara has to try and hold this completely solo. And he will be stuck inside A main. This is going to be so challenging for him to do, to just try and buy that additional time. They know exactly where he is. Recon dart in to try and gather some further information. Arc Rose destroyed. They have to clear it together, and they will. Beautiful stuff there from NAOS. Knowing exactly where they need to be and where they need to clear.
They're going to go on down to get the res back onto Zan. They want to 100% this round.
Very, very wise, Komodo. Madeline, SK
Thank
Rossi,
God.
Russ. There we go. A shot. Revenge for SK Rossi. Now it's an opportunity to really try and get their way back in towards this. Sure, the dark cover splits off short, but they can make their way through. It's going to be the recon bolt out first. Aftershock to go down. And look at this utility coming out from the breach in Russ. He's doing absolutely everything for the team to be allowed out towards heaven, but they're still sitting back. They're still holding this position. Naki will now drop Russ the paranoia to just try and 100% this round. They've used a lot of utility, but it's absolutely perfect. And that is going to be Naki with the 3K to afford a 7th round for NAOS. Looks like this one is going to be going the distance this series.
It's really crispy aim to come through from him in the end there, and this is a good benefit on getting that resurrection as well. 5 players alive in that post-play scenario. There's so many different angles that now's going to be able to hold that spike from. No one's under hell, they're all in main, so I kind of like the idea from Russ to get that fault line over towards the main choke point, to at least try and facilitate the team to drop in towards the site. But again, just too many numbers across the board when you've got Lightning Fast dead with no smokes available as well. It makes it very difficult. And now a fresh move now where SK Rossi finally gets an opener and gets out.
Oh no, Damara!
एक
And it's so disappointing, immediately gets his head ripped off, and I think they're going to be moving very, very quickly here. SK Rossi onto the line, gets 2. He's got his 2. As Lightning Fast and Russ, they're going to be moving on in as well. It's all on the Zavi. He was our hero, he was our #1 here, and he certainly can be again. Lightning Fast TP's in. It's in the market. He's going to be able to pick up all his veggies, get a coffee with it as well, but he'll need to make sure he takes the frag too. Zavi knows exactly where this man is clearing, veering, but instead he's going to close the gate and try and close out this clutch.
He had no idea until
VLT
the
generational throw कर रही है
from
भाई अब.
Lightning Fast. So you can see how hesitant he was to start to get in towards the site.
No,
Just needs to buy time now, Komodo. Throw a little bit of panic into the mind of Lightning Fast. This would be for an 8th round, 8 attackers sided rounds from NAOS. Zavi, you were talking about him being absent in the previous map of Lotus Komodo, and I would absolutely agree, but absence makes the heart grow fonder, Komodo. But he will be denied. Lightning Fast secures the Zowie clutch. And NAOS, they will not find 8. Instead, Velocity will pick up 5. Game still on.
Yeah, that could have been a really rough moment for Velocity as well when you consider that was a 3 versus 1 that they had up their sleeve, right? You've got Russ just transitioning and reloading in the open. I thought he recognized where Zavi was at the end there because he popped the Rolling Thunder, right? I thought he was going to rip it over towards main, but he thought better off it. Just here in the replay, you see it. And it was an opportunity for Zavi to potentially get that 3 versus 1, or 1 versus 3 rather, in that moment in time, but unfortunately not. 11 HP, Lightning Fast gets it done. 7-5 at the half. This one is close. Are we going to get the 3rd map? I don't know. You'll have to stay around to the next half to see.
Final score क्या होगा?
वो feeling आ रही है कि वो NAOS ना जीत जाए.
Yeah, if NAOS win this, I go heat up food. If Velocity win, obviously, then we're fine. I was gonna, I was gonna wait. But it's the difference between 7 PM dinner and 8 PM.
OT जाएगा यार game.
I think I can wait, to be honest.
क्या कहते हो?
But then
मेरी तो prediction आज तक ठीक सही हुई है कभी.
कोई बात है. Still, क्या पता अब सही हो जाए.
I would say 11-13 to VLT.
11-13.
3 days before I fly out. My God. Yeah.
Like close to जाएगा for sure.
Quit.
I don't think so. 3 या 4 राउंड के मार्जिन से ज़्यादा से जीतेगी VLT.
Yeah. Just gotta hold on until then.
या VLT क्या वो भी.
Hold on until then.
NAOS भी. जो भी टीम जीतेगी 3 या 4 राउंड के मार्जिन से ज़्यादा नहीं जीत सकती.
ये पिस्टल ऑन बोर्ड क्रूशियल है भाई. VLT को निकालना पड़ेगा पिस्टल.
Back in action immediately. Velocity, a great recovery there in the finale. Lightning Fast with the clutch, meaning that NAOS will not get the lead that they were hoping for here in an 8-4, and it's tight game still.
Ball लगी भाई इसकी.
Tight indeed. Are we going to get a clean 2-0 from Velocity, trailing at the moment? Or now it's going to send us into the third. It's a bit of silence in the skulking up towards this B site where the Vice utility does lurk and lie. So do you want to disrespect it and go together or bait it out?
Slow down, really. Now as that will go through, it looks like we do still see Velocity
Border कोई
trying
नहीं
to
है तो
find this.
एंट्री तो हो सकती है
Gonna creep on in towards position now.
पोस्ट फ्रंट ही कर रहे हैं आई थिंक वो
Up close and personal. I think they're going to allow this spike plan. Full comfort here.
Nice damage भाई.
A little bit of damage on towards Nakia. Can get healed up by Xavi, of course. Now you got the awareness that the flank is a potential from the trademark, but this is just going to be a scrappy battle in this 5 versus 5.
Really burnt out all the time, haven't they? Now wrapping back in.
कंट्रोल मिल गया
Getting out of long.
सब साइड खेल ले
Straight
सब.
through main. Now Rossi.
chaos होगा और
will
कुछ
be
नहीं
the
होगा
first one to take
अब
point
उस
here,
chaos
but
में किसके
now
शॉट
they are
लगेंगे you
respecting
never
it.
know
They are
मरेंगे
really
सब.
taking their time, wanting to dot their I's,
बढ़िया.
cross
Nice.
their T's. Rossi finds the TikTok wall from Xavi. Great opening pick here, and now they have to
बहुत
finish
प्यारा.
up the pace
Nice.
now.
बहुत प्यारा.
And I don't think
Flawless
there's
out.
going to be any
Flawless,
safe
right.
passage in towards this side here. Velocity. Beautiful
बस उन्हें
stuff.
साइड में ले गए
Another
भाई.
pistol, another round, and another chance towards closing this series out 2-0.
I'm thinking to myself that this is going to be a scrappy 5 versus 5 pistol in the post plant, right? When you've got the utility still a little bit there for the side of NAOS, but it is just some really sharp crossfires being held by Velocity and everybody on the money with clicking that mouse button to get the kills. 5 alive, flawless pistol containment field for Velocity. They are definitely looking to tie this one up and start their affairs on this attacking side super early. Throw it back to what I mentioned earlier as well, Mitch, right? They started 0-6 against Full Sense before waking up. So the fact that they're already here is good.
Certainly good. But a slow approach. Velocity not looking to overstay
People
their
space
welcome
नहीं
here.
बनाया इसमें बीच ही जा रहे हैं लोग.
Wasn't exactly a stack, but they did have
So
a
what drone है
bit of
अपने पे?
control. PTC making the
So
call
what
now,
drone है?
trying to get rotation in from Nakia. They've invested nothing into this round.
Now the full eco. See if you can get a cheeky thrifty, because we've seen one of those before.
A
But
couple.
this is definitely the
Oh, what
time
drone?
to just equalize and focus to the bonus. Don't drop much here.
वाइस तो गया.
गया वाइस
Spotted out
Good
PTC.
droning.
It was a good blind
So
as
भी
well.
गया.
सो वो भी गया
Nice,
that's crazy वो उसको वो
It's not
करने के
gonna
लिए
net
गया होगा ना
any reward
कवर
here
करने के
right
लिए
now.
हाँ.
Velocity, make sure they do their due diligence. The site will be secured.
University.
And
ये भी अपना ही
a
डाउन
very,
है.
very quick retake attempt for NAOS, I'm sure. Not really a hell of a lot to work with, as we mentioned
क्लासिक है
earlier.
Yeah, focus on getting a little bit closer to that Hunter's Fury as well for Madeline. Seen some
बाइक से
good
बढ़ेगी.
use of it with that double on the defense side.
Just frozen in motion right now. A little bit of a stalemate. Nobody wanting to make the first move. And I mean, look, Velocity got to be careful. They don't want to lose too many, especially none of this extra weaponry like the
Free gun, by the
like
way.
the Phantom. Yeah, of course.
I mean, that's a 3 versus 5, and you get it down to just 2 alive at the end there. I think you're kind of okay with
That's
how
what
that
I'm
works
saying,
out as
man.
now.
You know, the
ये
problem
तो
is
देख ही
you
नहीं थी
give
भाई,
three
बाहर वाली
weapons
को.
away and your bonus just does not look good at all.
Yeah, I mean, the stun comes in. I
वो वाला नहीं है कि लाइक हम तो डूबेंगे सनम तुम्हें भी ले डूबेंगे
तुम
और
कोई साथ.
Yeah,
हाँ.
I mean, the fact that there's extra
खुद की
damage
को भी
delivered
खराब करेंगे
there,
उनकी भी खराब करेंगे
it's that less sweets coming in towards this bonus round for Velocity, but it still looks, you know, plausible.
Yeah, Russ, you could tell he wasn't super happy with that one
भाई,
when all the
भाई नहीं
guys
कर
went
रहे
in and
क्या?
got hungry, but look, you got to give it to them. Velocity are on a bit of a tear right now as they do get these last couple of rounds back in tow, and now they're going to be
ये
clearing out that
कैसा
ship.
वो है भाई परचेज है बाय राउंड
Yeah, it's trying to
VLT
really put
का
emphasis on this B side
Stinger.
at the moment. Feeling like
हाँ,
a
तो
big
bonus
up
खेल लेना
from
ये
NAOS.
लोग.
PDC when the util
मुझे दो
scored.
बंदों पे घंटे उससे खेलेंगे मैं नहीं.
Struggling to get
बाकी
acquainted
बोनस
with
से
the
सब
headshots.
सिंगल सेरिफ वगैरह.
All the way in now. Nakia trying to
अरे,
hold on
अरे,
towards the
अरे,
line,
अरे,
but the
बहुत
reload
बढ़िया.
bolt is going to be heading his way. PTC drops Tamara in the process.
Nice
Straight
यार.
from the market,
Oi, oi,
lightning
oi.
fast, bold and brazen, but beautiful. Does get traded out by Zan, however. Now Nakia's going to have to fall back, cancels the Owl drone early. They still do need to try and clear on here. Russ instead is just going to use the flashpoint to get his way through across to the site, but it's not going to be happening at all. Instead, it's NAOS finding a hell of a lot of kills. 3 alive, 8 rounds, and the bonus denied. And I think, Komodo, they had to invest a little bit more than they wanted.
Oh, potentially so. I mean, I'm talking about PDC not able to collect some headshots in it, and he just gets a bit of a stray through the smoke, so he'll take that where he can. A good anti-bonus to come through from now. Some good coordination before the plant can really even go down. So they're recognizing sometimes what they
match
do
close
ahead of
jayega
the curve
बहुत मेरे
instead
हिसाब
of
से.
waiting for these post scenarios. But we're seeing some strength from Velocity in that regard. Now it's looking like a lot of the stalling utility is trying to keep them at bay, and it's just going to be Tamara getting a little bit too big for his boots.
The Battle Sage is a beautiful, beautiful thing, Komodo. I miss it. I live for it. And already finding that opening with Zan in tow.
Damara को निकालना था, वो ना एक kill निकालना था Sage
Pull the plug immediately. However, look at all this control. PTC watching from the bottom of the stairs. Inside tiles is going to be Moja. Not having the best game so far, but this could be potentially his time to sort of turn it around. Russ not going to be ready at all. Denied completely. PTC gets 2 for his troubles. Lightning fast, able to respond, but Moja's power positioning. He could probably just turn any time he wants here as well to try and find that additional member. He's cautious, obviously through B, but he's got to get the information on the Lightning fast, and that's just a prime round from now.
7-9.
You kind of also don't want to reveal that this lurk would have been able to get into the B side as SK Rossi in my mind, but he's still just going to see what he can do and maybe just protect himself for the next 40 seconds, because this is a scenario where you do want a bit of a hero moment coming into the next round when you are going to have an eco.
30
seconds clean left. One from NAOS yet again across the board.
This is 2 like full 40-second saves that we've seen in this series.
It happens.
And both sides of the side of Velocity, and you know, so far it means that Velocity's, you know, won these games still. So NAOS have got to find 9 here, sure, but I still definitely don't think this map or series is over.
No, not at all. Love the fact that the orb is just going to be collected at the end there from Moja as well, getting a little bit closer to the drift, because we are starting to situate ourselves into some strong ults coming online. SK Rossi. Oh, and he does die in the last moment. That is
Horse
rough.
Standing on the beach. Man. That hurts.
Very apt. Cheeky spots in this round though from NAOS, right? PDC. Say his name and he just starts to come alive in the server. NAOS do not want to go quietly on the map pick of their own. They want to send us into this third. They're making a couple of good decisions. And Velocity, yeah, they are feeling a bit uncomfortable. I was expecting that the timeout was going to start to come through in towards this one, because they are going to go into that eco, right? Unless they want to play with the economy and get a little bit of a half buy or so, but they were pretty down in the dumps. Just the loss bonus that comes into their pockets now. The time for NAOS to try and look to close this map is nigh.
It will certainly be disappointing for Velocity to have this one shift. You know, NAOS have been running such a solid competition here at Ascension so far, but so have Velocity. They've silenced a lot of claims about where they would sit in the competition. They're still here. They're still in playoffs. And they're still towards the top of the group right now.
So there is a little light investment to come through from Velocity here. All right, see if we can get another Thrifty coming on their way. SK Rossi just going to favor the Headhunter, which is fine with bringing on this chamber. Not really having too much of the crash shots coming on through. Gonna be a faster paced one into the B site yet again, sending in the TP to the back of site. You're actually sticking it as well.
No.
Damn, that's a spike too. Immediately drop down. Madeline will find PTC, so at least it is some safe passage in towards the site. Moja, Zavi finding members on the cross. As you said, Komodo, they invested so much, but Damara, my friend, I'll give you a chance. This is a possibility right now here for you, but they do line up to perfection. A warning shot could have potentially gone to the right way. There was some damage dealt onto Zan, but Fantastically done from NAOS to go in as a unit, clear as a team, and 10 rounds
7-10
are on
is
the
a
board.
harsh-
This one is going the
A little
distance.
bit harsh.
Yeah, I know that's a little lighter buy to come in towards the round for Velocity, but I feel like there's a little bit of a missing element over towards that market door, right? You're getting a quick TP to the back of site to try and establish a potential crunch in towards it, but you're leaving a very, very common choke point for this B site open. And it's just not even looked at from the players on Velocity. That one does need to be fixed up a little bit when you just have no early smokes and you favor the TP quick and early, because that screen that comes through from Damara, why am I forgetting the name? The fast lane doesn't last as long.
Komodo, look at you forgetting ability names. It's not even Conky today.
Yeah, I know, it's been a day.
It's certainly been a day. It's been a weekend of Valorant action,
Nah,
and we've been
man,
loving
bhai.
it, but so is Xavi, Nakia.
Nice,
Okay,
nice, nice
fast.
lightning.
Here he is.
Nice
Able to
lightning.
find 3 very, very quickly. Damara will drop Nakia and PTC. What can you do? He's found so much space here, but how long will it be before he cuts the sound? I don't think they've heard him. They've got the distance, they've got the timing, but now it gets a little bit awkward, right? Because
Yeah,
they've
they
broken the
can't-
wall.
they
They're
can't
stuck
get
there.
through.
Yeah,
And
I think
PTC
PTC might be able to get top mid. He might be able to get top mid, Komodo.
Oh,
If he walks,
Bhai
there's no
sahab.
way. He gets both of this. Oh, he's gone the wrong way.
Oh,
He
wait.
doesn't know the wall's up.
Mitch, the only way that they're into the A site is if Lightning Fast got over the wall, but
Yeah.
there's no confirmation that PTC knows that they broke it. So he's playing on the thought process that they did break the wall to get through towards A, because he's got his shear at the guts of mid still. Not popped, not activated. He would have known if they went there. So unfortunately for him, he's thinking they got into A by breaking that wall. Lo and behold, they didn't.
That
They've
was
waited.
sick, bhai.
They've now planted on the other side of the map, and it's going to be
When
another
luck favors
scenario
you.
like we saw for him on Lotus, where he's going to get there, see no one, and probably have to save.
He's going to have to turn on Strava for this run all the way from A main. And now with the utility ready to rock and roll. I mean, he's got the Steel Garden if he wants to use it. He's got some information now on towards Lightning Fast. Does not quite slip the net. He's going to be nearsighted at the very least, as now he moves in towards this dark
Nice.
cover. His prey is Lightning Fast this time. But Lightning Fast will deny. Very nicely done from the Omen of Velocity. A 4K in tow. A big brawl inside mid. Great timing. Using the From the Shadows to reposition towards mid top. And he closes out the round with gusto. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, definitely, as I said, understand the predicament that PDC was in there. A bit unfortunate,
yeah.
but for Velocity, winning out the battle in the scrap is quite huge. Can they do it
That would be
again,
right
though,
call.
to contend with what NAOS have up their sleeves?
mid
Look
pay,
at the ultimates that
we
they
have
have
to take
available
some
coming
advantage.
into
Nah,
round
mid
number
lane.
19.
Oh, here it is.
And the off-wall from Xavi.
Nice trade. Nice trade.
Finds
Nice
the
trade.
opening. And now he's going to be stunned up
But they
immediately
have the
by the fault
revive.
line, by the relay bolt. And now he's just going to have to try and hope that a little bit more will go his way. They know exactly where he is,
Let's
but he's
go.
narrowly misses the second. Russ
He's
going to
missing
shoulder him out
shots,
quickly.
right?
It's still a 4 versus 4, but look at the amount of chaos that is ensued inside mid now. Zan trying to walk his way
Let's
in.
go.
Madeline surely not going to be ready for it, but he is. Oh, denial
Yeah,
of
entry
service
military,
attack
yeah,
right
entry
now.
military, let's go.
Nakia gets the information on towards the Owl drone. Will look to drop SK Rossi, but he slips the net. Makes his way through the garden. It's not blooming
Let's
for
go. Yeah,
Nakia
entry
right
military.
now.
बस control लेना बाकी है
Gotta
अभी
be
थोड़ा
careful
सा.
with those Vandal sprays as well. Nakia gonna call for the heal. Would love to see a world in which Savvy can get a resurrection, but I'm looking at Lightning Fast. He's still in mid. He is so aware
hello,
that
Prateek.
they want to grab this in this situation.
Oh, they're going to go for it. It's going to be completely baited out. Oh, no. At least, I mean, they used that for Xavi to get the information, but now Lightning Fast can pop the Shroud and step 2. Swap over to the other side. Madeline finds Nakia, and this has just been an absolutely prime and perfect round so far. Xavi does drop Lightning Fast, but how do they even get back into this? I don't even think they choose to play. They
No,
just have
they
to go
can't.
next, basically.
I'm just going to echo what Big Time was saying, right? The experience of a couple of these Velocity members being in Tier 1 for a time has really just leveled them up, right? They've evolved time and time again with that experience, with coming back into the South Asia region and coming together with this Velocity squad, really having a drive to improve, to find their own identity. It is smart decision making that we are
Jesus,
seeing
VLT.
from them in this tournament, and it's another scenario of just recognizing what's available in the moments from your opponents, what they need to be doing to try and get back into a round from some potential deficit. Really well done from Lightning Fast in that
Madeline, अच्छा
moment.
खेला
Just
sound.
disconnect himself from the team and look at the bigger picture.
3 gone.
Morgan was talking about it. Absolutely perfect, wasn't he? Saying about the macro, you know, these little tiny things that you pick up in Tier 1 that can really elevate your level of gameplay. And now as they peek in towards main, already trying to take that additional control. Moja, who again has had a relatively quiet game. Damara straight into mid. This time the Shear's not going to be there either, Komodo. Instead, it's just a couple of warning shots out from B, but they take mid control.
Oh, Nakia, a little bit of a heal to come his way early.
Mid control भी अच्छे से मिला नहीं अभी.
Space that Velocity have gives them options. Gonna see that
Now
nothing's happening over in B main
so
from
much
Moja.
space,
Again, a couple of ultimates available still for NAOS to exercise in towards this
थोड़ा
round
सा
should
space
they
मिलेगा
need
तो
it.
शायद
And,
maybe.
well, the heal
Omen,
that
I think
Xavi
Omen, I
just
think
used
निकाल
is
सकता है एक kill.
already gone down for Nakia.
निकाल सकता
Back
हूँ
to
मैं.
low HP.
Great tag through the wall, hey.
बिना बताए कहाँ चला जाता है
Preemptive
तू?
information.
मैं तो
Gonna
यहीं
hold
था.
short. They are going to
तेरी
break
आवाज़
through
नहीं आ रही.
when this barrier wall falls down. And there it goes. So that's going to be some information. Xavi has to go huge.
Again,
with
Neeraj
the
was
operator
deep.
on
अब आ
towards
रही
the
है.
line. The paranoia goes through, and so does the overdrive. Going to look to get what they can. Zan, unfortunately, can't in a bit
Let's
of a rock and a hard
go.
place here. And Damara,
Damara.
straight
Damara
into
very
heaven,
OP.
makes it all work. And it's going to be hell, unfortunately, for NAOS. Moja, PTC creeping their way in slowly.
Test round पहले भी VLT
Arcro,
throw कर
Steel
चुकी है.
Garden, all there.
But
the
not a
dimensional
single.
drift, but how
बहुत.
far do you want to go?
Yeah.
The wall is
No,
down.
no,
I'm not-
over.
It's a good pick of
कि
the players
भाई
as well
अभी
for
तक
Russ there.
until
Picks
unless
up
सब
the
खत्म ना हो
rolling
जाए भाई
thunder
कुछ
if
नहीं
you
बोलूँगा.
need.
It's just such an awkward position. I suppose you get one kill and maybe there's an
Over
opportunity.
to I mean, come on,
As you
yeah.
mentioned,
Throw
Lamara
to
with that
me,
off,
yeah.
he's going to be straight on towards the
Yeah,
line.
save,
Sure,
save,
PTC's
over.
able to shoulder it out,
Save
but
पे जा रहे हैं
unfortunately, it's a bitter pill to swallow, isn't it? PTC
Yeah.
having to save again.
10-10
I
भाई.
mean, it's another moment in time for Velocity where they make a really smart decision to
Current
wait for that
order,
barrier
इसका.
wall to drop. Meanwhile, this hunt is
Nice.
on top
Let's
of
go,
the
thank God मरा नहीं भाई वो.
Doesn't even get one. Unfortunate for PTC. Commanding round from Velocity to tie it up. But as I was saying, opting to wait for that wall to fall, going for the mid split. And as soon as you see that operator echo out from Xavi and the paranoia that lands onto Damara, it's the split-second decision-making to stun the main
Time
choke,
out आ गया.
to wrap
Time out.
through
Time out
grass,
हो गया.
up the glass, around the rafters, picking up two, nearly the third that your team gets, and
क्या
setting
लगता है
up for a
थर्ड मैप
strong
जा रहे हैं कि नहीं
post
जा रहे?
play. Very quick
सबसे OT
reaction
होगा
to
and VLT जीत जाएगी OT
Beautiful.
में.
Yeah, Damara has certainly
VLT
been
का time out है
pressing
ना?
me.
नहीं उसका time
नहीं,
out
A
है.
little more
उसका.
humble in this map, right?
Still,
Hasn't been as up
मुझे
and
लगता है वही
about as
जीतेगा
NAOS
VLT.
have been.
वही मैं कह रहा हूँ
They
अपनी
seem to be
prediction पे
much
stick
more
कर रहा है.
focused here, Velocity, because it's getting real, it's getting serious. They are
But still I'm
tied
feeling
up 10-10 on the
VLT बस
scoreline.
बाय अच्छा
I
है
mean,
अभी.
it's 4 in a row,
And next round के लिए भी
It's
तो
4 rounds
maybe
in a row now.
OT जाने से पहले
Doesn't
खत्म
make
हो जाए.
Amix sweat.
Well, great.
अच्छी बात है OT से पहले खत्म हो जाए तो मैं भी यही चाहूंगा.
Irrespective.
तो मैं अपने prediction से वही करूँगा ना stick.
Absolutely it is, but
मेरी 11-13
it's
की
just
थी.
been such a
So
good
please
run here of
भगवान जिंदगी में एक बार
consistent
prediction
gun
ठीक करा
rounds, and
देना.
I'm just worried about the
Yeah.
economy of NAOS right now.
Well, the timeout has been to play.
Yeah,
for the
11-13, right?
discussion, isn't
Yeah.
it? There you go. 3 to answer 3.
देखो.
So.
Buy भी
not
नहीं
wrong,
होते
but
like
looking for the fourth.
buy नहीं
Economy
भाई light
in their
skill ले सकते
favour,
हैं.
but
अपने में breed shirt
wondering
भी
about
और.
these ults, right? The dimensional
When you
drift
in
is still
paper,
valid,
wise
but
or
still
your
holding
ult
it.
है.
Been
दो
holding
ult
them for
बिल्कुल
quite a
एक-एक
little
में
bit
बची हुई
now
हैं.
over on Naus's side.
उन
If
पे
you're down to
wise
an
ult
eco
भी है भाई,
scenario,
your
this
ult.
is kind of the time that you might need to cut a couple of corners and go for it. There's an adjustment of this Vice utility still towards mid. Still putting a bit of a focus. See what you can potentially find there from Moja getting on that mid line, but it's just absence from Velocity over there this time. Full
और
focus to
भाई
this A
और
side.
चैंपियन पे.
A slow waltz. This should very well be around for Velocity, but again, this weaponry for NAOS, it's enough, right?
चलो लोकेशन
Yeah.
की
Information
तो
gathered by Moja now.
Does that make you think better of it as Velocity with what you've seen at this site, though? Because look where Moja is.
वहीं
Moja's
जाके
already
बैठा है
in
बार
towards
बार
tiles.
tiles पे.
He's got the biggest read imaginable on how this round is playing out to just communicate to the team to stay at A, essentially.
Dimensional drift from the shadows available. Steel Garden 2. PTC hasn't had a chance to pop that. What are they going to do here? You can tell they're itching to try to go for it. And it's just bait. They're not doing anything just yet, but Komodo, they're running out of time. Zan does
might-
get spotted.
This might actually have to switch into a Rolling Thunder angle, and it is.
Straight on through.
Why health
Get one
मारे
stun
वो
on towards the site, but Xavi's going to be able
जो
to get
under
through
rank
at the
है.
most opportune time. Weaponry picked up now, starting to get challenging. It's a
Nah,
second
man,
for
save
Xavi. Oh
round.
boy, 20
क्या है यार,
seconds to
rotation
go
बहुत
here,
पहले मारनी
Komodo, and I
चाहिए
mean,
थी.
I think they're actually
इतनी
going to have
ज़्यादा
to
कि
go
यहाँ
for
रुकने
that
का कोई लॉजिक ही नहीं
teleport.
बनता था.
Absolutely. Over towards the other side of the site. They will rotate their way around, but Moja's got to drop Madeline. SK Rossi gets one. But now he has to try and find more completely solo. They can just rotate away. SK Rossi has to get his runners on right now. Has to get
मैं कह रहा
moving.
हूँ ना,
Zan could
VLT
completely deny
generational
he will.
throw,
It's all going to be
भाई,
on the
क्या
lightning
बोलूँ
fast
मैं?
to see what he can do here. And the gate crash, it's not going to be there. The blind side gets him going. And now lightning fast, trying to do it all, trying to do it solo here. It would be such a heroic round. A 1 versus 4 angle coming through now.
ये चीज़
Does
सुनने
not
में
have
अच्छी
the
लगती है
paranoia.
भाई.
A single dark cover. Nakia hoisting to the line.
Close to
Oh, it
close.
almost happens. But Xavi will
बट
be
ये
the
इतना
hero.
क्लोज आना ही नहीं था ये राउंड भाई.
Oh, that gets
उनके
so
पास बाय नहीं है,
close
कुछ
at
नहीं
the
है.
end
5
there.
स्ट्राइक
They
ए
line
पे
up, but
इतनी
just
देर
the
रुकना कोई
bullet
लॉजिक ही
can't
नहीं
sink
बनता.
into the face. And it's a bit of a saving grace in the round.
नहीं क्या
The
comms
quickly
थी ये.
come through from NAOS. They bought so much time over at the A side as well with the slower timing that comes out with the dark covers as
Like
well.
I know
Really
हमें
made
दूसरा
it
POV दिख रहा है, हमें सब दिख रहा है इसलिए,
for
but
Velocity.
फिर भी.
As I said as well, right, with the timing getting low, you have to switch into the Rolling Thunder, but you're just not getting into the site at all. Moja's
seconds से ज़्यादा तो एक जगह
giving
पे
absolutely all
फायदा
the
ही नहीं है.
information that NAOS needed in the round, and they even hold on to all those ultimates, Mitch. They have them available to try and close this map.
Lightning fast is the
क्या बोल
Undertaker
रहा
at
है
this
ये?
point in time, right? Top of the
सही है
server.
भाई, reveal हो गया.
Playing some incredible Valorant. Obviously all that experience from Global inside Tier 1 now. But we're back to winning ways for NAOS. They
Again,
break
we
the
are doing
streak and now
same.
they get moving very, very quickly. Moja
चलो
has
इस बार
to
entry
get
हुई
out
है,
of
इस
this
बिना
dodge
मरे.
immediately. Still again,
भाई
you
उन
know,
पे
we're
ulti
talking
देखो एक
about
बार
this
भाई तुम.
Garden from PTC that could
Ulti देख रहे हो
really
उनकी?
Xavi does have the resurrection. Here we go. There it is. Finally pop, but Madeline finds
Same ये
Moja.
last round में
ओ
ओ
भाई,
Resurrectable, but he's taken down.
No,
Oh
no,
no!
no, no,
Tamara!
अब तो जीत
All up
सकते
in
हैं
his
भाई.
face. Madeline
What
finds
the
two.
heck?
And now Russ can look to find that plan here. Hunter's
They're going
Fury
for
still
save,
available
भाई.
for Nakia,
Vault
but
पे
they've run
खेलेंगे
out of
round.
time. Oh no! It
Look at the
sucks
credits.
for NAOS.
Look at the money
They've
again.
got no money, as you mentioned,
Damara भाई.
Komodo. They've got no hope,
But
no
हमारे जो
dreams.
निकाले ना भाई वो.
Only PTC to
That was
try
crazy
and take
moment
this
भाई.
weapon into the next
इसकी
round.
भी को
Nakia's
खराब
got
करो
a
भाई,
little bit of
खराब
money,
करो इको.
but they certainly
अगले
could
राउंड में
have
सिर्फ
dealt
अल्ट पे खेलने दो.
with that additional vandal.
Nice,
And
nice.
lightning
Nice.
fast. Oh, he's
उन
on
पे बस
the
एक पे ही
hunt.
बाय है
He's
भाई,
ready to
नायका पे.
deny.
नाकिया जो भी
Blood
नाम है
spilling
उसका.
in the water for Velocity, and they want to sit at the top of Group Omega and be the
That
alpha
moment of
in
Damara
this
भाई
series.
on tree
I gotta
crazy.
say, really nice timing on the Hunter's Fury as well. When you have that Steel Garden come through, you kind of know the
भाई
relative
दो निकाले जो
positions
उसने
that retake is gonna
mid lane
come
में.
out from,
Yeah.
right?
वही बढ़िया
You're
था.
not holding the big bow and arrow for the post plant. You're getting active. You're facilitating entries.
But इस
right
match
in
में
the front
lightning
for
fast
your
is भाई
team
doing
when
some
you're
great
looking
job.
to get that plant down. The fact that he gets 2, the fact that the Steel Garden has no value. Yes, at
25
least
kills.
for now, so you didn't put every ultimate into the mix. You did put a big one that
कौन
gets
यार
shut
राउंड तो
down
अपने को
and
निकाल
takes
दो
the
यार.
trade.
तो बाय
In
देखो
the
उनका
fact
यार.
that the Hunter's Fury was there for Madeline, but mate, you're tied up. You're on an eco again, and now you're
चले
using
कल्ट
your
गई.
own Hunter's
I'll
Fury
be waste
with
भी हो
no
गई
info,
इसकी.
Without
with
info
no
भाई.
comms on anything behind
Check check
a
करो
lobby.
ड्रोन.
Hang on, pause.
Nice.
Right
अरे
now.
बहुत
Let's
प्यारा.
go. Movement है, movement है.
Stun है, stun है, stun है.
I was going to
Stun है.
say this is a round where we've actually seen NAOS win.
Nice. अपना
Nice.
राउंड
But
अपना राउंड है.
unfortunately
अपना round
for
है.
Nakia,
Please throw
he's
मत
going to
करना.
be
Please,
getting
please,
caught
please.
off guard.
एक गार्डियन में
Xavi
पे
Save
बस.
कर रहा है
does
वो,
have
save
the
करने
res,
हैं.
does have the Guardian now, but I don't think this is a round you want to be going for at all.
minimum OT
But
तो
at
अब.
the same time, you kind of have to. You have to make a play here.
Yeah.
They can invest the resurrection if they wish.
Well, you need a head off it up first, I feel like, because look where the bodies are, Mitch. They're in main. There's one backside, there's one CT. They're very difficult res spots.
I mean, they could go for the one.
हैन ने मैच स्टार्ट होने से पहले बोलता that would be a easy match for us, like we will win.
They get the
spam.
information.
और
and
किसने
the
बोला था?
bang from Russ,
हैन जो उनका वो नहीं है?
recon bolt.
कौन सा
And
player
Xavi's
है?
not going to be able to find
Omen.
one on the exit
Omen है कौन? I
velocity.
don't
That
know.
is going to
क्या
be
खेल रहा है वो
map
भी?
and series. And potentially top of group's point here, Komodo. Nobody would have been thinking about this.
It's just another close one when it comes to Ascent, right? The 13-11 victory they got against Full Sense.
Mon bro,
who
ये
had
वाला
the
हमारी
हाँ.
पहली
one
बार
to try and
Omen
close
ने.
the
और मैंने
map.
ना
There was 3 of them for Velocity, if memory serves right.
हमारा
It gets
guess सही
done
हो
at
जाए
the
बस.
end. Now they've got this
I'm
one
getting that
chance
vibe हो
before
सकता
it
है.
goes into overtime.
हो सकता
There was an
है.
opportunity
They
in
are
the
3
moment
ult
for
full buy.
Nakia
Shield
too
नहीं है
at
but
the
उन पे
Swarm
तो
side of things. Dark cover comes after he finds the
Sage
first
को
kill.
निकाल
Bit
दो यार,
rapid,
come on यार,
bit
उस पे
fast,
रेस
bit
है.
again for the beginning stages at least, but you bait out the barrier and
इसको
TP the
निकाल देंगे
backside
तो
of
भाई
B.
फिर
They've
बहुत
drawn
बस पोजीशन बहुत
all the
प्यारी है.
rotations to
वोट
this
हाउस
A
पे
side.
ओमन
They
ने
have
कंट्रोल ले
controlled
लिया.
the bait,
That's
but
crazy.
eventually the spike will make its
B
way
का कंट्रोल हमें मिल ही
a
गया
bit too
ऑलमोस्ट.
late to this B side.
Look, all I can say is lightning fast.
ओमन को नहीं बनना, बस कुछ भी हो जाए.
Gold statue.
होल्ड करो
towards this
बस.
Nice.
बहुत बढ़िया.
Nice.
Step to
रोजी.
dodge. SK Rossi to open up the
बस
back.
अपना
Let's
साइड है.
go.
Side
Let's
अपनी है.
go.
Invest in velocity. Buy up now, ladies and gentlemen. It's looking good for them.
सेज
Savvy
रिवाइव
has to
ढूंढेगा
get
बट
out.
रिवाइव उसको ऐसी
There
जगह
is still a
पे
chance. There is
अभी
still
तक
a
दोनों को
world
देख सकते हो revive.
when
ले नहीं
NAOS
सकता.
recover here. Komodo, we're going
Gotta
to let
get the
this
res.
one sink in right now as the res is available.
दो
Mojo
मिल
ready
गए,
to
दो
rock
मिल
and
गए.
roll. He's got a break at the most opportune
Huh?
time. Rossi
Nice.
can
Trade
look
मिल गया,
to
कोई दिक्कत नहीं.
resurrect his way out.
एक
कोई
एक
ना,
क्या
कोई ना.
नाइस गो 1v3
GG. 2-0.
2-0 प्रेडिक्शन है भाई प्रेडिक्शन है भाई
Prediction है भाई, prediction है.
Damara, he will let him know.
2-0 मडारा बोलो.
From South Asia, where many people would have put him in this competition as one of the lower seeds. A beautiful result to come through from Velocity.
Let's
the job
go,
not
man.
done. Now,
But
not
at
going to be
2-0.
too phased here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They know they've made playoffs.
VLT.
They know they've done good work.
I know
Velocity are gonna
VLT
be
throw करने में भी
riding
god है
this
भाई
high to their final game
but the
against
comeback is
Longship.
also like great.
I mean, I was saying it time and time again throughout
Insane
this one,
comeback,
the
भाई.
decision-making
Insane.
caliber from Velocity is looking really, really top tier at the moment. The way they're positioning around the map, the way that they're getting dirty in these fights, in these scrap battles, and the way that they're sort of EMEA-esque sitting in the middle of these rounds as well, letting things simmer. It's very smart decision-making that is coming in from Russ. I mean, we're looking like
That's
now
बहुत
to
बढ़िया खेला भाई.
potentially close out this map, right? But there's
That's
just
और वो.
a different little style
इसमें
of play
lightning
that
कौन
is
सा
going
खेला
in
भाई
for
इस
the
मैच में?
remaining
Lightning
four
भी,
rounds of
हाँ.
that map that I'm
Lightning,
really
Damara,
looking forward to.
Madeline,
There was that
ये
one
तीनों
big
और रस भी,
music
हाँ.
round that does come
रस
through,
भी अच्छा खेला
but
भाई.
the sort of tail
इस
end
मैच में तो थोड़ा
pivot
lightning
from
थोड़ा
Velocity
वो
is
सॉरी
looking
lightning कह रहा हूँ रोसी थोड़ा
extremely
कमजोर था.
strong at the end of that.
हाँ,
Two
रोसी में
to
तो भाई
0
चटकारे
they
पड़
end
देते.
this one. It's
उसके अलावा
another
तो
close
सबने
one
बढ़िया
on the
खेला.
scent. Don't get me wrong, but it does not matter now that the
GG's
series
भाई,
is
GG's.
done. And I'll also say
Great
this.
भाई
I said that Xavi was missing in the first map, right?
तो बबाओगे वेलो?
Even though
वेलो
you
थोड़ा
know,
टाइम आऊंगा 7-8
Naos
बजे के
to lose
आसपास.
that one. He
8
did
बजे.
wake up
हाँ,
on
8 बजे
this
के
map.
आसपास.
He ends top of the Naos team, but just not
पहले
enough.
भी आ सकता हूँ
हम
ऐसा
कुछ
कुछ नहीं
चलते
है.
हैं
Problem
फिर.
is, Komodo, when
क्या
you've
कह रहे
only
हो?
got one
पहले भी
player
आ सकता हूँ, ऐसा
really,
कोई सीन
really
नहीं है.
firing, it doesn't
हम तो
always
कॉल कर
get
देना एक बार.
a reward because
हाँ, मेरे
when you've
वेलो
got
में जा रहा हूँ,
lightning
वेब से पूछ के.
fast
वेब
on the
ओवर
other
में
team
चले जाऊंगा.
putting in the big
चलो,
results,
कोई
but man,
सीन
all I
नहीं.
can think about is just the
Bye-bye,
macro
guys.
of this
Bye-bye,
game,
bye-bye,
right? If you
bye-bye.
weren't a Rust fan before, ladies and gentlemen, watching along at home, you certainly will be now. But yeah, some really, really solid individual heroics because someone who was having a decent game in the previous SK Rossi, he was relatively absent in this one, but it doesn't matter. Towards the end, he started
Insane.
hitting his shots, but when the rest of the team is there to step up to the plate, winning that 50, turning the tides towards the very end of the game, it can be very hard to recover if you are Naos.
Something big that I've been tracking on this one as well, right, is a couple of the first kill, first death scenarios. SK Rossi was silent in the beginning. He actually ends in a net positive, getting more first kills than first deaths.
The
But
market
the
share.
worst casualty in this regard, Moja on the
भाई उसको बोलो गेम में जा चुका है वो
0
यहाँ से.
first kills on this
Man.
map of Ascent.
That hurts, doesn't it? You know, Moja, a player that's had such big amounts of impact for the Naos roster over the years, over the time, a namesake.
VLT doing
He's
some
been
great
there
though. I'm
quite often, the one that you want to rely on, and that's exactly right. You know, when you go
like
missing
top 2
off that
contender
clutch
for
of
sure.
lightning fast, I completely
From
forgot
these
that
10 teams.
almost happened.
So close.
And
Yeah.
like deserving,
No, you're spot on, man.
deserving,
And
deserving.
Look, all I can say is, yeah, velocity and the
deserving.
consistency as a unit has
VLT.
been what has allowed them to convert this series.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Very well done from them. It's going to be a result for the next series for the Velocity Naos one to see who is going to end up first seed. If that goes a certain way, there's going to be some little tie break that comes out. But irrespective, guys over on the desk, what do you think of this one?
Velocity with a hat-trick record in Group Omega, now back and forth in Ascent, but with tremendous experience, the squad were able to close it out. We were worried in the pre-map of Ascend about how Velocity is going to survive the utilities and resources that NAOS had, but it was amazing on how they were able to handle things well and bait out those tools perfectly. Velocity is surely
Yeah.
a force to be reckoned with at this point.
My goodness, was this a joy to watch. I mean, I think stylistically, they should have had a much tougher time trying to deal with that Vice, but I love how they approached this. You can see, you heard Komodo talk about it. Moja could not get his foot into the game, and that's because Velocity were finding him. They were prioritizing heading towards him and heading
Lightning
away
doing
from PTC. How many
insane,
times was
bhai.
PTC left alone in the retake, having
gonna
to
play
save
good,
his
bhai.
gun? They understood this
Seriously.
matchup so well. Massively impressed with this Velocity team. They move up to 3-0 in their group. I mean, NAOS had yet to drop a map before this game, but they could not stand up to the pressure that Velocity was bringing. And I mean, we have to talk
क्या
about the
लगता है, like,
Goliath himself.
Fourth match भी
Lightning
VLT अगर
fast,
जीत गई तो
this
भाई clean
game
sweep भाई. Whole group
absolutely
clean sweep.
phenomenal.
Let's go.
Absolutely. We've talked
Go
about
VLT,
Tamara, about Russ, about how this team can do such synced executes, but in this map, Lightning Fast was killing it. Like, maybe there's not a lot of
MVP, MVP.
spotlight into Lightning Fast like
yes.
before, because we've had our eyes on the Mara, on Raz, but in some of these situations, Lightning Fast, he has a really good aim and sharp aim.
Yeah, he has a bit more of a difficult role in this setup because, Madeline and Russ setting up Demara as that pack there. SK Rossi gets a lot of freedom, and Lightning Fast has to be caught between the two worlds, I guess, where sometimes he's left on his own, he has to anchor these sites, sometimes he's with that pack. He's in a very difficult situation, so we're not saying his name all the time, but he proved us wrong this game. He said, hey guys, why aren't we talking about me? Look at what I can bring. He's incredibly sharp at his best, this player. I've seen him absolutely dominate some of the best players in the world in practice. And I mean, if he's able to hit his ceiling, this guy's going to be incredibly scary. But the worst part is it's just another arrow in the quiver for this Velocity team. They're already so full of potential. And if more and more players continue to step up for them, I think we have to really start talking about them for a Pacific slot. People have to start waking up to the possibility of seeing these faces back in the Pacific League next year.
Absolutely, I'm
Let's go.
amazed by the composure Velocity Gaming has in this whole tournament. See,
Favorite
Velocity on top of Group Omega with 3-0, while
upper
NAOS
bracket
they
तो
bleed
confirm है भाई.
today. And this is going to be
Upper bracket
interesting because
confirm है.
Velocity
वहाँ से
they have denied NAOS from grabbing that first seed from
possible
Group
है, possible
Omega,
है top 2.
but it's not
But
fixed yet.
exaggerate नहीं करते
Velocity,
ज़्यादा
yeah,
situation
not
को.
confirmed
Like
yet
down
if
to
that
earth रहते हैं.
Velocity will be the #1 seed for Group Omega, because they will still be going against Nongshim tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a world where we don't know who is finishing where in Group Omega still. If Velocity lose to Nongshim, we have a complicated three-way tie. I can't tell you what they need to do in order to confirm that. I mean, that's somebody else's job, way above my pay grade in production. But just know that we will be seeing them in playoffs, and that is an incredibly exciting prospect. I mean, I think they've surprised everybody this tournament, and now we're all collectively so excited to see the damage they're going to be able to bring later on in this tournament.
चलो guys, see you.
Absolutely, and
Then
also we
आपको
are
stream पे
excited to see our next
probably
matches for tomorrow. We
कोशिश
have
करते हैं,
Motive
जल्दी करें, but
Esports
like late
versus
भी हो सकता है, never
SLP
know.
Songnam
Because
on the
festival
first
season है,
match,
so.
and we will have Boom
Till
Esports
then,
versus E King.
meet
Well,
you
I mean, E King, they don't
in the
have
next
the
stream.
playoff contention
And अगर आपने like
anymore,
और
but we've
subscribe
seen
नहीं
this
किया,
before,
तो क्या
right?
कर
We've
रहे हो
seen
यार? करो.
NKT upsetting
करोगे?
E King when they played without
चलो guys,
without
bye-bye.
pressure. Sometimes